68,000 members, 18 branches, 1 community. Three Rivers believes in the people and places that make our region home. When it comes to your money matters, experience simplicity, experience community, experience Three Rivers.
Big ball game, as we mentioned. St. X and St. Francis, longtime rivals. St. Francis, the Cougars, have won the last two against SXU. Getting ready. Now it's SXU to kick it away left to right. And here we go. It's a left-footed kick high, end over end. Harris will give way. Appenzeller at the 5, works right side to the 10, 15, looking for a block, stumbles, now trying to reverse back to the left side, gang tackled, and short of the 20-yard line is where St. Francis will go to work 1st and 10 in the early moments of this ball game. St. Francis coming in at 2-3, as we mentioned, SXU at 3-2, both teams 0-1 in the respective league races. So it'll be 1st down and 10 for St. Francis at their own 20-yard line. Offensive line averaging 274 a man, tackle to tackle. Brian Gegner starts again tonight, replacing Zach Minardo. Still a little bit banged up. He is dressed. Saw him working out, but will not start here tonight. Hunsucker getting the start at quarterback. Wants to screen the ball left side at Kelso. Kelso, quick move, breaks a couple of tackles and brings it up over the 30-yard line to about the 31. So that'll be a 1st down and an encouraging positive for USF, moving it from right to left on that first quick hitting play. Little screen into the flats near side, and Kelso, that's his 17th catch of the year, comes in with 172 yards. Had 2 catches for 33 yards a week ago against Siena Heights. Cam Smith obviously will be a mark man tonight. He's in wide to the right side. 1st and 10, now at the 31-yard line. Hunsucker looking to Campbell. Campbell, no, off tackle. No, it's a keeper play by Hunsucker. Nice read on the read option. Fake the handoff on the counter run to Antoine Campbell. Boots it around the left side and brings it across the 35 to about the 39-yard line.
8 on the play.
So nose of the football just inside the 39 of St. Francis. So 2 good plays to start. One a pass, and then the last one on a quarterback keeper play. Screen coming up. Appenzeller turns the corner. 45-50, 45-40, and trying to come back along the boundary to the inside, but stays in bounds inside the 30-yard line. He coughed it up, and I believe SXU's got the ball. Let's wait and see. They do give it back to St. Xavier. Appenzeller was triple teamed, and in the scrum they were able to dig the ball out. So the first turnover of the night, and it'll be St. Xavier taking over the football after St. Francis was moving the football very, very well, and a good run after the catch by Cody Appenzeller, but then he fumbles it away. So at 13:49, it'll be St. Xavier getting the ball inside their 30 at the 28-yard line. And we'll take a look at their offense coming out now. Expecting to see John Rohde, the 6-foot sophomore quarterback, in there. And let's see if it's going to be, he'll set up out of the shotgun formation, 2 wide to the left, a little motion out of it. Nick DeBenedetti. They'll throw the home run ball. They've got a man down deep and a catch. Nashawn Lewis trying to catch up inside the 20, and he's got him out of bounds right around the 18-yard line. But DeBenedetti, you've got to be aware of him from start to finish. Had 8 catches for 120 yards at Grandview last week, good for 1 touchdown, and comes in leading him with 38 catches on the year.
Ball will be spotted on the St. Francis 20-yard line.
So a big hitting play now for SXU. Both teams showing a lot of offense in the early going. Shotgun formation again. Rohde's got motion out of it from right to left. They'll look now. They'll screen the ball near side. Here's Joshua Hunter looking for a block. Angles to the right side. Got down to the 10. Carried tacklers down inside the 9 and to the 8-yard line.
On the stop for St. Francis is Thompson.
St. Xavier with the first scoring opportunity, realistic opportunity of the ball game, as they've got it 1st and goal from the 8-yard line now. Team that comes in and averaging, as we mentioned, right around 34.5 points the ball game. They'll work from the right side hash mark. Rohde out of the gun again, looking to hand the ball off. No, it's a play action fake. They throw the ball, tipped in the air, incomplete. Corey Stamps had the coverage that time on a throw to the right side. Ball popped in the free in the air, hung there tantalizingly, but Stamps dove for it, but could not find the hand. Incompletion brings up second down and goal from the 8-yard line. Backing up to the gun again is Rhodey. Had something to say to center Sean Jones. And here's the quick drop, and here is Rhodey looking, throws over the middle. He's got a catch, and it'll be a touchdown. They rule it. They're going to roll it incomplete. Did not hold on. It was Randall Wells along the back end line, but did not control it to the ground. It's rolled incomplete and brings up third down and goal at the 8. Already up to the line of scrimmage, the SXU Cougars. Rhodey with a protector to his left out of the shotgun formation. Looking again. Wade takes the snap, drops the throw, looks to his left, throws to the corner, and this time nobody's there. Well, they've got a catch, but it's out of bounds, and he didn't hold on anyway. Is there a penalty flag? Apparently there was. Boyd.
Correction.
Let's see how they're going to rule here. Crowd was going wild. They thought there was a penalty flag, but I believe there's not going to be one. It'll be fourth down and goal with the ball at the 8, and they'll bring on Abdul Mahdi to try a field goal. He's 4 of 5 on the year. He's had one block kick. This will be a 25-yard field goal attempt from the right side hash mark. From 20 to 29 yards, he's a perfect 3 for 3. So a 25-yarder trying to get SXU on the board. Right-footed kick, low-line drive, end over the end is good. So points on the board for St. Xavier. They lead at 3-0 with a timeout on the field. 12:53 remaining this opening quarter. 3-0 SXU over St. Francis. This is Cougar Football on Redeemer Radio, WRDF 106.3 FM.
Save money, save energy, and make your home more comfortable. Just call Momper Insulation to re-insulate your sidewalls, crawl spaces, and basements. Your home will stay warmer this winter, and you'll see a noticeable drop in your energy usage. And that translates into savings. Insulation is all we do at Momper. Expert installers and the best materials mean no gaps, no wasted energy. Call Momper Insulation today at 432-7543.
Gentlemen, we remind you that booster
Back Joe Parson, Redeemer Radio Sports thanks H&O Electric for being our travel sponsor for today's game. For all your electrical contracting needs, be sure to call H&O Electric at 260-402-3541. That number again, 260-402-3541. So St. Francis getting ready to receive a kickoff. Had the offense going in gear, in sync. Great run by Cody Appenzeller, but then the little guy coughed it up, and SXU turns that into a 3-0 lead. From the 35, here comes a left-footed kickoff once again down the middle. Appenzeller takes a look. He's got it at the 5, brings it out near side to the 10, 15, 20. In the middle he runs. He tripped up from behind. He had some good steam going again. Across the 35-yard line, he skipped out to about the 38. So decent field position once again, a starting position for the St. Francis Cougars as they work again on offense from right to left. They'll put that ball down. In fact, nose of the football just inside the 39-yard line. Checking some of the respective numbers of these two teams as far as pass offense, St. Xavier is averaging about 225 yards a game through the air. St. Francis 239.4. Both teams have given up some yardage through the air. We'll take a look at that in a moment. Meanwhile, here's Hunsaker. Two protectors either side. They'll hand the ball off. And here's Nicodemus finding some running room and breaking tackles, brings it out across the 45 to midfield and into SXU territory. So the second time in 2 possessions that St. Francis has got the ball into SXU territory, now at the 49. Previous series, St. Francis coughing it up, and SXU got it at their own 28. So that's been the deepest penetration of the ball game so far for St. Francis. This their second possession of the ball game. Hunsaker's got Seth Stewart into the ball game, up in the slot to the right side, and the 2 protectors stay in. Working from the left side hash mark, and here is a read option. They'll run the ball, not much there. As right, there'll be a loss, I believe, back to about midfield.
Into the line. Hayward on the tackle for St. Xavier.
Greg Hayward credited with the tackle. Comes in leading with 3 sacks. Also with 9.5 tackles for loss. That's 4th best in the Mid-States Football Association. Last week against Grandview, he had 7 tackles, 3.5 for loss. Call it second down and 10. Clock approaching left 2.5 minutes time remaining in the opening quarter. 3-0 SXU in the early going. Hunsucker taking a look, working out of the pistol alignment. Blitz being shown up by the defensive left side by SXU. Low snap. Hunsucker picks that up, throws near side. Coates got it, trying to work after the catch. Gave a little ground. Let's see where they're going to mark the ball. Short of the first down, outside the 40 at about the 42-yard line. Seth had a defender right on him, but made the catch, and that is going to be his 14th catch of the year. Came in with 204 receiving yards, had a touchdown last week, and on 2 catches averaging 28 yards a catch. It'll be 3rd down and 3. That is an area that it was just absolute for St. Francis last week. They were 1 for 12 in the ball game. Stewart in motion, left to right. Here's Hunsucker setting his feet. Now spins back to the near side and trying to leg it out, trying to get to the first down stick. And good job. He reached out with the right hand and fell down on the near sidelines. But it will move the chains. Wes Hunsucker, not really known for his legs, had just 1 carry last week. It came in with 6 carries for 3 yards, but that was a pivotal pickup on 3rd down and 3. And the Cougars do move the chains. They'll be into St. Xavier territory now, 1st and 10 at the 35-yard line. Clock will run inside 10.5 minutes remaining here in the opening quarter. Hunsucker checked his wristband, now with the snap, rolls to his right, throws it in the flats. That's a catch made. Here's Cam Smith working to pick up the first down. He's got it, powers inside the 35. Carries down close to the 33-yard line. So now the St. Francis Cougars getting their offensive rhythm going again. Kelsall out there, and looking at right guard, it's Brian Gegner making the start tonight. We mentioned the Cougar offensive line for St. Francis averaging 274 a man, tackle to tackle. Coat breaks out of the huddle and comes wide to the left side. Up in the slot, flank side of him will be Seth Stewart, 2 wide to the right. Hunsucker out of the pistol alignment once again. Protector off to his right side. That's Antoine Campbell. He's had only 1 carry so far tonight. And here's a short drop and a throw to the left side. A look in pass, and Coat had the ball, dropped it. They're going to rule it. He never had control of it. Seth usually very, very good sure hands, but that time tried to make a move toward the goal line before he kind of had the ball on his hip. And it bounds away incomplete, so that'll bring up 2nd down and 10 and stops the clock with 9:48 remaining in this opening quarter. Cougars huddling up. A lot of times we've seen them this season go no huddle. A lot of that's really the prevailing trend now you see in college football. Standing at the line of scrimmage and waiting till the plays based on what the coaches see up the press box are waved into the offense. Hunsucker looking, screens the ball near side. Kelsall, running room, works to the 20, to the 15, and short of the 10, he's brought down about the 11-yard line. Kelsall got a block left side. I believe it was Seth Stewart that helped him, but he had a lot of running room right at the hash mark to work with, and they'll move the chains again. Seeing new numbers, 4 or 5 new players coming in, including Jason Nicodemus will check into the offense. Cam Smith was out that last play, checks in. That's the near side. Now they assume the Delta formation. And let's see if it's Jarzab in there to run the offense. And he'll give it off. And there's Harris. No, it's a keeper play. And a run to the left side. That's Jarzab with second effort. Gets inside the 5. Out of bounds on the near sideline. No, they're going to keep the clock moving inside the 5. Out of bounds somewhere around the 2 or the 3. Let's see where they put it down. Looks at the 3-yard line. And second down. Jarzab stays in. Nicodemus to his right. Aaron Harris to his left. And Campbell gets the handoff, cuts it back up, trying to break the plane of the goal. And I don't think he got in. Needed a yard to pick up the first down from the 3. So they're going to spot that ball at about the 2. Picked up a yard. And it'll bring up 3rd down and a little over a yard. They can pick up a first down without scoring. Matt Knoll just checking into the ball game, coming in from the bench. And they're going to reset the play clock to a full, well, now they bring it back. Cougars still in the Delta formation with 3 running backs, 2 halfbacks, and a tailback, Campbell. And here's the keeper play again, and that's walking into the end zone will be Jarzab. He faked the handoff and angled, ran it out to the left side. It'll be a touchdown run of 2 yards at the 8:07 mark. And St. Francis gets the lead for the first time tonight at 6-3. So Jarzab from 2 yards out. That's his second rushing touchdown of the year.
Ryan Nix will attempt.
And Ryan Nix, who was 3 for 3 last week and 15 of 16 on the year in extra points, will try to give St. Francis a lead of 4. Waiting for the snap. Nix approaches, right-footed kick. He booms it. Let's see if he got the angle. He did. 7-3, St. Francis, desperate for a win. And on the road, they've got the lead over homestanding St. Xavier 7-3. We've got a timeout. We'll step out. This is Cougar Football on Redeemer Radio, WRDF 106.3.
With upfront closing costs and with higher rates over the life of the loan, Brian Canary here to tell you that too many people are not getting the best rates on mortgages because they're not getting multiple rate quotes. Think of the good you could do with the thousands or even tens of thousands of savings. Keep it for yourself. Give it to the poor, the church, or radio. Call or tell someone you care about to call me, Brian Canary, at Union Savings Bank to start saving today and keep your hard-earned money. 442-6877. Union Savings Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender. NMLS number 118-1098.
The kickoff, Benedetti and Wells for St. Xavier.
Twilight setting in now here at Bruce R. Deaton Memorial Field. And St. Francis with the lights on. They'll be kicking it away from right to left. They've got the lead for the first time tonight at 7-3. They'll kick it off, and just one back deep for St. Xavier. That's going to be De Benedetti. Had one kickoff for 17 yards last week, and 11 on the year. He's had a long return of 27 yards. They're really not expecting a deep kick, and Ryan Nix has had a lot of leg this year, high end over end, but a little bit into the wind. De Benedetti runs up to it at the 8, brings it across the 15 to the 20, and then he is smothered just outside the 20 at the 21-yard line. It was Aaron Harris that got down there, along with Monte McDowell on the special teams on the road. And here comes SXU now. So we've seen plenty of offense already here tonight. And St. Xavier.
St. Xavier, 1st and 10.
They come in averaging about 138 yards a game on the ground. St. Francis at 120.4. Both teams have had problems this year defending against the run. St. Xavier's giving up over 183 yards a game. That's third last in the MSF8. And St. Francis, even worse, 239. And that is next to last. And here's a big run for St. Xavier up the middle. Look, Joshua Hunter, I believe. And he brings it all the way across the 35 to the 42-yard line. So a big hole up the middle, and Joshua Hunter, little guy at 5'9", but he packs 215 pounds on that junior frame. And just like that, improving field position just short of the 45-yard line. Out of the shotgun, option run on the reverse. They flip it to the left side. Randall Wells. Wells turns the corner. He's into St. Francis territory. Still on his feet inside the 30 to the 25-yard line. So a little razzle-dazzle by St. Xavier. And Wells on the little pitch reverse. The initial influence was from left to right for St. Xavier, and then coming back the other way on the pitch. Randall Wells picks him up, lays him down, and it's 1st and 10 now at the 21 of St. Francis. They'll run the ball again. No, it's a quick pass, and that one on the St. Francis side, good for about 7 yards. Looks like Ryan Carroll on the catch for the St. Xavier Cougars. That one is good for 7, and it'll be 2nd down and 3. John Rohde trying to play up-tempo. Leaned in on his quarterback for a moment. He's got 2 protectors in either side. Waiting out of the shotgun formation. He's got it. Play action fake. Now on the counter run to the right side. And a big hole again. Inside the 15 and a carry down close to the 10-yard line for St. Xavier.
The gain is sufficient for a Cougar.
Cougar's going to change up front. Jason Gardner starting tonight, but generally you would see Jeff Jones coming in, a 248-pound junior. And they're up to the line of scrimmage once again, ready to go. 1st and goal from the 9-yard line. Motion right to left by Ryan Carroll behind the line of scrimmage. And here's Carroll, a little swing pass to him in the left flats and try to make a stop and go move, and stayed in bounds and carried inside the 5.
By Sims. Correction, Stamp.
Corey Stamp on the coverage that time. They'll spot that ball. Let's see where they're going to put it. Right around. It'll be at the 5. Second down and goal from the 5-yard line. Brody again out of the shotgun formation, looking, play action fake, counter run, and our carry. Do they get into the end zone? Touchdown. I think that was Joshua Hunter on the carry from 5 yards, a little counter handoff, and right up the middle at the 6:39 mark. So advantage St. Xavier as they've got the lead back here at home at 9-7, and now it'll be Abdul Mahdi. 33 points coming into the ball game tonight. He was a perfect 5 for 5 last week in extra point attempts. Trying to make it 10-7. Right-footed kick is long enough, and it is good. So lots of O, not much D so far in the early going here in Chicago. 10-7 in favor of St. Xavier, as it'll be St. Francis with a chance when we return. This is Cougar Football on Redeemer Radio, WRDF 106.3 FM.
Is counted to infinity twice. He once set a land speed record on a surfboard. Bruce Springsteen calls him the boss. He is the most fascinating man alive.
I don't always buy diamonds, but when I do, I prefer Peter Franklin Jewelers. Stay sparkly, my friends.
Let's check it up. It's Kerry Ferguson that got the touchdown. That's his third rushing touchdown of the year. It is 10-7. So St. Francis looking to get the ball back down, but playing from behind, playing down 3. Appenzeller sets up shop at the 10. Harris a little bit deeper inside the 5. Twin tandem back there in kick return for St. Francis. And again, waiting for the kickoff here, the left-footed kick. A lot much shorter, end over end. That's a free ball, takes a bounce, and fielded by Harris. Comes from right to left, looking for a block, and runs into trouble. Upended, cartwheel across the 20 to about the 23-yard line. And that's where Wes Hunsucker and the St. Francis offense goes back to work, trailing it here at 10-7. St. Francis back home next Saturday afternoon, 12 noon. They'll take on USF Illinois. If you can't come out and join us, and be sure to join us on Redeemer Radio. Our pregame show begins at 11:45 next Saturday morning. As far as SXU, they're idle next week. They'll take a week off, then go to William Penn on October the 25th. Hunsucker back in there to quarterback the Cougars. Antoine Campbell is the one back lined up behind him. And here's the handoff to Campbell. And boy, he immediately draws 2 and 3 red jerseys almost from the time of the handoff. So the left side of the offensive line, a lot to handle. Look at the up front guys, Rudy and Tuna in their one defensive end.
Second down, 12.
Came through there. So loss of 2, second down and 12. Hunsucker with the play clock at 17. Checks to the far sidelines. Waiting to see and ready to come up with the play call, and waiting for the snap from center from Jesse Boley. He's got it, and the whistle's blew right at the snap. And let's see if that's going to be procedure. It was against St. Francis. So instead of second down and 12.
76 on the offense. 5 penalty. Remains second down.
So a walk-off of 5 at the 6:05 mark here of the opening quarter. Cougars, as we mentioned on the third downs last week, were 1 for 12. Still really good for the year, 34 of 76 for 45%. But that number really plummeted percentage-wise last week. 1 for 12. Hunsucker, empty backfield, looking in the middle, throws near side, and a diving attempt for the ball near side. They're going to rule it a catch up around the 30-yard line, and that is short of the first down, but it brings up a manageable third down call. McDowell went down and got it. Little square out move by Monte. Cote now comes back into the game. One of the wideouts. St. Francis huddling up. They are faced with 3rd down and 4. They've got the ball at their own 31-yard line. Cam Smith in wide to the right. SXU brings 10 within about 5, 6, 7 yards of the line of scrimmage. Shifting at the line of scrimmage defensively. Hunsucker looking to throw. Time over the middle. Throwing. It's Cote lays out for it and's got it. Up around the 48-yard line. That ball was low to the middle of the field, and Seth Cote went down to his knees and grabbed it off the turf. So a big catch by Seth Cote, and it'll be 1st and 10. St. Francis on the move. They've got it at their own 49-yard line, 1st and 10. Marcus Moss will come back into the ball game. A couple of tackles, 1 for loss, 1 quarterback hurry last week against Grandview. Cam Smith stays in. He'll be joined, part of a trips package to the right side, by Keem Kelsaw and Cody Appenzeller. 1 wide to the left, the near side. Hunsucker barking out the signals once again, rolls to his right, trying to buy a little time. Pumps, pulls it down, throws as far as he can. He's got Cam Smith, but just overshot him a little bit inside the 20-yard line. Hunsucker showing a lot of strength that time with a right-handed toss. Cam Smith turned around at the right time, but it was just a little bit too strong, a little bit too high to the outside, incomplete. That'll stop the clock now with 4:43 remaining here in the opening quarter. 10-7 St. Xavier. They led on a 25-yard field goal by Motti. Jarzav walked into the end zone on a quarterback keeper call to make it 7-3. And now Kari Ferguson gives them the lead. Here's a spinning move by Nicodemus. He'll get a couple, maybe 3 yards into SXU territory, down to about the 47. It'll bring up 3rd down, and let's call it 6. They'll spot that ball, nose of the football, just outside the St. Xavier 47-yard line. St. Francis working from the left side hash mark. A little confusion on the play call. Seth Stewart's got to help his teammates. And here is Hunsucker. Blitz coming defensive right side, and Hunsucker backs away. 14 on the play clock. So he's got time to recheck and maybe changing the play call at the line of scrimmage. A little motion by Seth Stewart, right to left behind the scrimmage. Hunsucker with a blitz coming, steps up, throws. Cote again with a catch for a 1st down. 35 inside the 35 to the 32 and maybe to the 31-yard line. Quick hitting play again, and the key is Hunsucker getting a little time back there to run his progressions and run the checkdowns. Now Colin Hariff comes in as a wideout to the near side. Seth Stewart flanked inside of him up in the slot left side. 2 wide to the right. Hunsucker, quick tempo again. Looking, rolls to his right. Wants to throw. Looks, throws to the corner. Way too high. Looking for Akeem Kelsaw. Running a little post corner route. But again, Hunsucker with too much mustard on that throw. That stops the clock now with 3:35 remaining in the opening quarter. Noel was in. He checks out. Cam Smith comes back in. It'll be 2nd down and 10. Ball's at the 31 of St. Xavier. Stewart and Cam Smith are the wideouts to the right side. And they've got a wing back up on the left side as well for St. Francis. Hunsucker looking, hands the ball off. Here's Campbell looking for running room up the middle. Pushes the pile down inside the 30-yard line to about the 27. Now they're going to move it back to about the 28-yard line. So he'll pick up 4. 3rd down and 6 coming up. St. Francis up the line of scrimmage already. Campbell is the running back, but Hunsucker to throw. Looks right side. He's got a wide open catch. Cam Smith gave ground and in the process may have given up the 1st down. It'll bring up 4th down and about 2. And let's see how Kevin Donnelly wants to play this one. Ball will be at the 23-yard line. It'll be 4th down and 2. St. Francis down a deuce. Check it down at 3. And they're going to go for it. Kelsaw was coming on the field. Now checks back out of there. 3 wide to the left. That's the wide side of the field. They need a couple of yards. Hunsucker now backs away. Play clock's at 10. Repositions Campbell off to the right side, flank behind him, offset to the right. Blitz coming up the middle. Here's Hunsaker, throws the ball. He's got a catch. That's good for a first down. Cam Smith just sat down, just ran down the right sidelines along the border, about 10 yards downfield, and pressure was playing off of him. He had enough for the catch, and it's 1st and 10.
First down on the 13-yard line.
So St. Francis moves the chains once again. It'll be 1st and 10 at the 15-yard line. Noel now in wide right. And up on the slot right side, Akeem Kelsaw. 2 wide to the left, including Seth Stewart. Colin Harris stays in as a wide out left side as well. Here is a play action fake, and stepping up, here's a Hunsaker looking for running room and scrambles down to about the 11-yard line. Hunsaker wanted to throw the ball to the right, I think looking for Cam Smith, but tried to get what he could on the ground and picks up about 3 yards.
Moss on the tackle for St. Xavier.
So it'll be 2nd down and 7. Again, St. Francis can pick up a first down without scoring. We're down to 97 seconds remaining in the quarter. 10-7, St. Xavier's got the lead. Appenzeller up on the wing to the left side. And split wide of him will be Colin Harris. Hunsaker looking a little motion right to left by Kelsaw. Now he comes back to the right side. He's open. He's got the catch, and he'll walk into the end zone. Well-designed play by St. Francis. Kelsaw from 8 yards out started in motion off the right wing, came back, reversed, left alone. The pass is complete and a touchdown for St. Francis at the 1:18 mark, their 2nd of this opening quarter. 12 yards on the play. So again, lots of offense between the two teams. Hunsaker to Kelsaw. And for Akeem, that's his 4th receiving touchdown of the year. Nix now trying to give the Cougars a lead of 4.
Reset the play clock to 25 seconds and started on my whistle.
Referee tonight is Jerry Frump, wanting them to reset the play clock. And Nix trying to add the 14th point of the night. Waiting for the snap. Right-footed kick is on the way and booms it between the uprights, and it is good. So we'll step out here at Bruce Deaton Memorial Stadium, and St. Francis trading blows offensively with St. Xavier, but it's back in Chicago. Welcome back, everybody. Joe Parson with you here on the south side of Chicago on that touchdown. Hunsaker, that's his 6th touchdown toss of the year. Again, we've seen that all through the season with Akeem Kelsaw so often coming in motion, and when he reverses back, the defenses have just basically ignored him. And that was the case on that throw to from Hunsaker that gave him the lead. Here's the kick now, and Benedetti backing up and takes it a yard deep and looking across the 10 to the 15 and dives out. There's a penalty flag thrown as they bring it out across the 20 to about the 23-yard line, and we'll check the penalty. Coming up, Jerry Frump, our referee tonight, checking his officiating crew.
During the return, holding. Number 32 on the return team, 10 yards from the end of the run. First down.
So that one goes against St. Xavier. As far as penalties coming in, they had 8 for 41 last week against Grandview, averaging about 47 yards a game in penalties. That one will back them up. It'll be 1st and 10 with the ball now back inside the 15 at around the 14-yard line is where they tell us. And Rohde with an empty backfield, 3 wide to the left, screens the ball near side, and that one is caught, but penalty flags were thrown right away, and you would think that there was going to be a problem, I think, with either.
On the stop for St. Francis.
Might have been with procedure. Jerry Frump, along with Gina Choa, working tonight's game. 2 of the officials came over and told me, though, that they were NFL replacement officials here a while back. So obviously strong credentials. Referee Frump checking with the Cougars whether they want to accept the penalty or decline it. No indication yet. Kind of thinking what the options are and the permutations of whether they accept the penalty or back them up half the distance.
We have a chop block, number 66 and 73. That penalty's declined. Second down.
So the Cougars take the play, which is an incompleted pass. And it'll bring up second down and well, it was complete, but for a loss, second down and 13. Rhodey, same set, empty backfield, little motion out it, left to right, and a play action fake. He wants to throw out of that, throws near side, looking downfield, but nobody home. That time, miscommunication as they were trying to find Randall Wells downfield, but he was running the fly pattern along the hash lines. And now it's third down and long. On third down calls, St. Xavier this year, 34 of 87 coming in for 39%. Last week at Grandview, they were 9 of 20 for 45%. Cougars with two safeties back now in this third and long call. Zach Bruce in, defensive left end. St. Francis for a stop and trying to get excellent field position with under a minute time remaining in this opening quarter. Back near the goal line and backpedaling into the end zone. Rhodey throws over the middle. He's got a catch and looking for the first down stick, and they're close to it. I don't know if they got it. And it looks like they're just a yard over what they needed, and they will move the chains.
First down.
So St. Xavier gets a needed first down as they'll mark that ball up around the 20-yard line, just short of the 20, across the 19. Check it, it's at the 24-yard line, and first and 10 for St. Xavier. Clock is running, just over 30 seconds remaining. Spread offense again, 4 wide to the near side. That's the short side. And here's Rhodey out of the gun. Motion, weak side left. They'll hand that ball off on a jet sweep. And Cougars come up and defend it. Gain is across the 30 to the 31.
Tackled by Tabler for St. Francis.
DeBenedetti got that handoff on the jet sweep from left to right. And he'll pick up about 6. We will not get another play off. Final seconds will tick away. So after one, a lot of offense, not much D either way. It'll be 14 St. Francis on the road with the lead after one quarter here in Chicago. This is Cougar Football and Redeemer Radio, WRDF 106.3 FM.
The first kickoff time.
Well, a beautiful day here in Chicago. Sun was out, and normally on the away trips, it's really not just a day trip, but since this is a night game, St. Francis led at left Fort Wayne about 12 noon. And stopped to eat, got here, and now playing under the lights in Chicago. Let's take a look at some of the first quarter numbers. St. Francis offensively ran 25 plays for 194 yards. SXU 15 plays for 159, so you get the idea. Teams combined for last year for just under 900 yards of total offense, and they're trying to equal that again here or better if they can. This time SXU will move from right to left.
All proceeds to
and Rhodey again with an empty backfield. It'll be second down and 3. Ball is at the 32-yard line, St. Xavier. St. Francis brings 11 men up within about 7 yards of the line of scrimmage. Rhodey to throw, looking right side, and that one zooms incomplete. Looking on a crossing pattern, Ryan Carroll, 6'1", sophomore. Incomplete. Well, the other game we'll be watching tonight, 5-0 Robert Morris. They're taking on USF Illinois at 4-1. That one major impact as far as the Mid-East League is concerned in the MSFA. But this is a good time, all-time rivalries. St. Francis with the edge in 12 matchups, 8-4. Rhodey looking, tip ball over the middle. That one incomplete, tipped high. St. Francis in the secondary. Tabler went down for it. Also Elliot Nelson. But they could not find the handle, and now it's going to be third down. Or check it, fourth down, and they'll bring in the punt team.
Correction, fourth down.
First time we'll see Joe Bailey in to punt the ball tonight. Had 4 punts last week. Had a long of 68. Averaged over 41 yards in the 4 punts. Tabler back in punt return. 1 punt return last week against Siena Heights for 7 yards. He's averaging about 6 yards in punt returns. Bailey waiting back around the 20-yard line. High snap, got it away. Kick is away as well. Tabler looking for it, eyes it. He's got it at the 28, cuts to the 30, 35, 40. And short of the 45, he's brought down the middle of the field at the 43-yard line. Very good field position for St. Francis now, trying to expand on a 14-10 advantage. Here we're early into the start of the second quarter with 14:41 remaining. Cougars got a touchdown run from Brad Jarzak, followed by a 12-yard Wes Hunsucker touchdown pass. Just over a minute remaining in the quarter to give them a 14-7 lead. First and 10, they'll spot it at the 43-yard line. Actually, it's at the 44-yard line. Hunsucker out of the pistol with Campbell lined up. Play action fake, and on the reverse, they give it to Appenzeller, working right to left, looking to turn the corner at the midfield, and gets it about 2 or 3 yards deep into St. Xavier territory. Just depends where he stepped out of bounds. They're going to back him up right about midfield.
Correction to midfield.
So a good play call on first down. They'll pick up 6. They'll bring up second down and a short 4. Cam Smith in to the near side, lined up right and directly in front of us as we look at it. And here's Hunsucker, short drop, looks left, throws left. That one knocked away. A lot of heavy contact immediately.
On the breakup of the Hunsucker pass.
Hunsucker looking on the quick look-in pass, incomplete. It'll bring up third down and 4.
Third down.
Trying to get to the 46-yard line on this snap of the ball. Seth Stewart checks out of the ball game. Cougars huddling up and now coming up to the line of scrimmage. Seth Coates had a couple of big catches already tonight. He's in along the far side, split wide left. 3 wide to the near side. That's the wide side of the field. Motion out of it. Appenzeller. Blitz coming defensive left side. Here's Hunsucker. Looks, throws to the left. Diving attempt. Let's see if Coate came up with it. It's Appenzeller. Appenzeller, or is it Coate? Let's check it. I think it's Cody Appenzeller came up with the ball, and they'll move the chain, so he went down and took it off the turf.
43.
Cam Smith now checking to see what the play call is. He never huddled up with the team. They want to put the play in motion. Hunsucker looking, scrambling to his right, being pursued. Wins the race, foot race inside the 40, 35, 30, and bowls over a couple of would-be tacklers down inside the 25-yard line. Goes Wes Hunsucker. Good, tough run by the senior quarterback. So, St. Francis on the march once again. They've got it first and 10 at the SXU 23-yard line. 13:48 remaining here in the first half. And here it comes Hunsucker. The throw right side's got it, diving attempt for it, but in and out of the hands of Cam Smith, I believe it was.
Second down.
Smith leaning to the outside with his back to the defense. Had it in his hands for a moment, but could not secure the football. That'll stop the clock with 13:38 remaining in the first half. Now St. Francis works from the right side hash mark. Hunsucker will walk away, still 20 on the play clock. Checks to the sidelines. And ready once again to take the snap from Jesse Boley. He's got it, looking to the right. Throws it short, and that one's dropped by Appenzeller.
Pass intended for Appenzeller, incomplete.
Now it'll be third down and 10. The ball's still at the 23. They've got to get to the 13. Or a good part of it. Aaron Harris in the ball game right now. We've got Coate coming back in. And let's see who else. Garrett Harvey's going to check into the ball game. Harvey's the running back. He'll be flanked to the left to Wes Hunsucker. Play clock at 7. Hunsucker out of the gun, waiting for the snap. We're at 5. We're at 4. Waiting for the snap, and he's got it. Here's Hunsucker looking, being pursued, steps up, pulls it down, is going to be sacked. Never got rid of the football. And that has been one of the problems, the indecision and the inability to get out of trouble and, more importantly, get rid of the football. So the loss is back outside the 30 to the 31.
Second and 18. Correction.
It is going to be fourth down and long. Clock running. It'll run inside of 13 minutes. So at the ball at the 31, St. Francis acting like they may try to run a play. They've got to get it down to the 13-yard line on this fourth down call, or will they bring in the field goal team? It would be a long, about a 50. Nixie missed a couple of weeks ago on a 50-yarder. Now they're going to maybe take a timeout and talk things over.
We're to delay a game against St. Francis. 5-yard penalty. Remains fourth down.
So they'll let the play clock expire. And that will allow the punt team to come in with Josh Spitnail. He'll be attempting his first punt of the night. Don't believe they called a timeout, but although both teams are grouped around their respective benches, because if St. Francis did call the timeout, it came way late after the play clock had ran out and resulted in the penalty, the 5-yard walk-off. Let's take a look at some first quarter numbers. Nicodemus with a couple of carries for 16 yards. Hunsucker in that first quarter, 3 carries for 16 yards. Brad Jarzab ran for the touchdown, 2 carries and 12 yards. Now Spitnail comes in, waits for the snap at midfield. He is averaging 41.4 yards a punt this year. Has done a tremendous job. St. Francis has been very fortunate over the recent years with great punters. Here's the kick, very high, very short though. It'll be a fair catch called, and that's made inside the 10-yard line.
Fair catch at the 6 or 7 yard line.
So with 12:34 remaining, St. Francis still on hold. They've got the lead at 14-10, but St. Xavier now will have their hands on the football. Let's check back some other numbers. Hunsucker was 11 of 14 in the opening quarter, 149 yards, 1 touchdown. He had the one long throw of 35 yards. Seth Coate, 3 catches in the first 15 minutes for 41 yards. Akeem Kelsaw with the touchdown, 3 catches in all for 33 yards. Cam Smith, 3 for 28. De Benedetti led St. Xavier in catches with 2 for 58 yards. John Rohde was 6 of 10 for 87 yards. No touchdowns, no interceptions. Rohde out of the shotgun again, looking to hand the ball off, and no, he screens the ball instead near side, and looking, it's a short run after the catch, out across the 15 near the 20-yard line.
Howard Smith on the stop.
As far as defense for St. Francis, Lucas Sparks going to see a lot of action tonight. 2 tackles last week, brings in a couple of sacks. That's a gain of 4, 2nd down and 6. They'll run the ball, and big running room. And boy, that was a tackle that maybe saved the touchdown by Tabler.
Tackle by Tabler.
So a big play defensively as Joshua Hunter was off to the races. But he's got it out to the 25. They'll mark the ball, just nose of the football out across the 25-yard line. 1st and 10. Rohde with 3 wide to the right side. A little motion now, left to right behind the line of scrimmage. He drops to throw. Rohde loads up, throws to the right. That's a high ball and too high, bobbled, and actually caught but well out of bounds. I think that was Randall Wills with a great job of just volleyballing the football back to him. In the process, he was about 4 yards out of bounds. 2nd down and 10 now. Inside of 12 minutes, time remaining in the shootout here in Chicago. Rohde again with a running back flank to his right. Motion now behind the line of scrimmage. Here's a counter run coming up the middle. And again, Cougars porous defensively as the gain is across the 30 to the 32-yard line.
Kiermaier on the stop for St. Francis.
Steve Kiermaier's credited with the stop. But the gain is short of the 1st down. It'll be 3rd down and a long 3. Now is where St. Francis needs a stop. Again, safety's back, but everybody within about 10 yards of the line of scrimmage. Rohde working from the right side hash mark. 11:24 remaining in the half. Rohde looking, trains the ball right side, and St. Francis has got that wrapped up for a loss. That's a loss of about 3 yards back around the 30-yard line. So a key defensive play that time by St. Francis, coming up big, and it'll force Joe Bailey to come in the ball game to kick the ball away once again.
Coming in to punt. And Tabler for St. Francis.
We had no punts in the opening quarter. Both the punters for each team respectively has been called upon here in quarter 2. Clock running inside 11 minutes now. 10:48 in the first half. 14 10, St. Francis. It's been a seesaw, though, in this first half. Bailey waiting for the snap. Back around the 10, got the kick away. Taylor trying to chase that bound, has to let it bounce. It got past him inside the 30, inside the 20, and inside the 10. It'll roll down to the 5-yard line. That time the punt eluded Cale Taylor. And instead of having the ball up around the 25 or the 30-yard line, Wes Hunsucker's going to start all the way back at his own 5-yard line. Well, it's been that kind of a year. And now you've got to find a way out of adversity. And you got to just, in your own psyche, pretend like the ball, I guess, is at the 40 or 50. And just do what you've been doing so far this first half, because St. Francis has moved the ball regardless of where they've been. This will be their worst field position starting of the ball game. It looks like Jarzab has come back in out of the Delta formation, wants to throw out of that, throws near side, nobody home. And that time looking for Seth Coate. That time Jarzab just threw to a spot, but it was about 15 yards too far from anybody. Well, the good news, they tried to cross up SXU's defense, throwing on first down, but that one no chance. So it'll be 2nd down and 10 from the 5-yard line. Clock ran down to 10:20, time remaining here in the first half. Jarzab again out of the gun, looking, hands the ball off. Here's a run up the middle, and a little bit of a hole across the 10 and out to about the 14-yard line. So Antoine Campbell getting the call and cutting quickly to his right side is about a yard short of the first down. It'll be 3rd down at about 1.5 yards. Coate is set wide to the left side. Let's see if they try to run for it. They've got 2 backs in, flanked either side of Brad Jarzab, who's run for a touchdown tonight. And Campbell again, but this time they'll run the ball. And second effort, I don't think they got there, though. Had to get out to the 15.
DeMarco on the stop.
It was Jarzab on a quarterback keeper call. He needed about 1.5 yards, and I think he got a yard. So they'll mark it short of the 15-yard line, and Spitnail will be called upon to come in and punt the ball away.
Spitnail
just needed about another 0.5 yard to convert.
Is deep for St. Xavier.
So Spitnail standing back at the goal line. One back and punt return at the 45 for St. Xavier. Perfect snap. Here's the kick away. And again, Spitnail got a lot of it. It's caught right at the 50-yard line. But DeBenedetti running and into Cougar territory. St. Francis down to the 40-yard line.
Francis 40-yard line. St. Xavier takes over. 1st and 10.
So very good field position for SXU, trailing it with under 9 minutes remaining in the first half at 14-10. But now John Rohde with some great field position to work with. Some of the other numbers, as we mentioned, coming in as far as sacks. Looking at both teams, St. Xavier came in with 11 sacks on the year. They had 1 last week, gave up 3. They were -5 in turnover margin. Big story of their loss, 41-37 on the road at Granville a week ago. But St. Francis gave up 4 sacks against Siena Heights. Again, both teams at times have been problems with their offensive lines. Rohde out of the gun. He's got a running back flanked to his left. Wants to throw, hit as he throws the ball. And this one caught. And they got a foot in bounds. Let's see if they're willing to catch. They do inside at the 15 to the 14-yard line. So big play by St. Xavier as Rohde was able to step into it and get rid of it just as he was about to be hit. So it'll be 1st and 10 now from the 14-yard line from the left side hash mark. Tight trips package to the right, the wide side. Looks like they want to run the ball. No, they throw the ball in a quick screen, and it's ruled no catch. Trying to hit the quick hitting play to DeBenedetti on the quick slant. Right in and out of his hands, incomplete. So 2nd down and 10 with the ball marked just outside the 10-yard line. It is at the officially at the 11. So here's Rohde again. Now they'll stand away with 22 on the play clock. Officials came in and held up play just for a moment. And it looks like they're going to reset the play clock once again. A little problem with that here tonight in the first half. And ready to go to work again. Ferguson, who's run for a touchdown, is the running back in there, flank to the left of Rhodey. Short drop, Rhodey looking, screens the ball, and that one is dropped in and out of the hands of Ferguson, trying to come flushed out to the left into the flats. Now it's going to be third down and 10. They can pick up a first down just before the goal line. Nose of the football just outside the St. Francis 10. Rhodey, same formation, tight trips to the right, trying to draw St. Francis off. Now backs away, play clock at 17. Maybe changing the play call at the line of scrimmage, waiting for the snap again. Blitz is coming, and here's Ferguson, tripped up inside the 10, got to the 9. It'll be fourth down. And let's see if they're going to bring Amati on to attempt the field goal to make it a one-point ball game, or try to. He is hit from 25 yards, got the first points of the ball game for either team, and gave St. Xavier an early 3-0 lead. Right now it's 14-10 with 8:13 remaining here in the first half. This will be a 26-yard field goal attempt. A little bit of an angle. Well, really not. Really about basically in the middle of the field. And he is a perfect 4 for 4 in this range on the season. Right-footed kick and has got the distance again on the way, and it's good. So let's call that a 26-yard field goal by Monty. Earlier from 25, but points on the board, and that'll make it 14-13 with a timeout here in Chicago. Step out. This is Cougar football on the road on Redeemer Radio, WRDF 106.3 FM.
Offering great daily lunch and dinner specials. Bring the family in to enjoy our spacious family room after the game. The Lodge is proud to support Bishop Dwenger and Bishop Luers football. Come celebrate the W's with their friendly staff. The Lodge is located at 4935 Hillegas Road. To save your table for after the game, call 260-203-3154.
So things tighten once again. It's a one-point ball game now at 14-13. St. Francis won in Fort Wayne 45-20. 2 years ago, they won here in 2012 at 25-13. St. Francis has won the last two between these two schools. St. Xavier teeing it up. They'll kick it away right to left from the 35-yard line. Aaron Harris back deep along with Appenzeller. They wait right around their 10-yard line. Appenzeller a couple of yards up the field, just out across the 10 now, closer to the 11. Harris back around the 8. Here comes the kick now, left-footed kick once again. Very short, high end over end. That one will hit and be carried across the 40, 45, I should say to the 40-yard line, to the 41-yard line. And now a little pushing and shoving as got involved in some extracurriculars on the special teams. And we've got a St. Francis player down. I think that's Monte McDowell that they're working on. So Monte McDowell on special teams, they pay attention to him. Injury timeout here in Chicago at Broussard Deaton Memorial Field with our score 14-13 with the injury timeout. Let's take this 30-second break as well. This is Cougar Football on Redeemer Radio, WRDF 106.3 FM.
Think of Briscoe Dentistry for your family's dental care. Dr. Todd Briscoe and team know that your body is more than just teeth and gums.
Spot that ball squarely on the 45, so a gain of 3, second down and 7. Appenzeller comes back in, brings the play call in from the far side. And now Matt Knoll check into the huddle as well.
Come on, Keith.
Colin Harrafin, he's sent wide to the near side. And 2 wide to the left for Hunsucker. Campbell in, offset behind to the left. They'll give the ball to, no, it's a play action fake and a catch by Coate, and Coate turns the corner and he's got the first down. Lost the football again, but he was out of bounds, and it'll be a first down at about the 35-yard line for St. Francis.
First down on the St. Xavier 35.
So here comes St. Francis with 6:28 remaining. Zach Menardo, who's been banged up, did not start tonight, limps off the field under his own power once again. That'll bring Bryant Gegner back in. So Zach giving it a go, but that ankle a problem once again. Play clock is down to 15 as checking the sidelines is Wes Hunsucker. Hunsucker with 2 wide to the right side. Wants the throw, drops, looks, throws it as far as he can down the left sideline, and there was a little bit of incidental contact. They're not going to throw a flag as the intended receivers for St. Francis down there was tripped up. Noel was running the fly pattern, was one of those in the vicinity, but it'll bring up 2nd down and 10 with the ball back at the 35-yard line. Now it's Keegan Bruner that is limping up to the line, but he's toughing it out. He's going to hang in there. He's limping noticeably. Coming up to the line of scrimmage, 2nd down and 10. Hunsucker looks to screens the ball, but boy, that was well defense for a loss. Seth Stewart came up with the ball, but he was joined by 3 XU defenders.
Loss on the play.
So that one went nowhere. Loss of about 3 or 4. And 3rd down now and much longer.
3rd down.
St. Francis got to get down to the 25-yard line on this 3rd down call. They've got 3rd down and 13. Trying to do much better than last week's 1 for 12 on 3rd down calls. Hunsucker barking out the signals, backs away again. Rechecks, resets. Now with 9 on the play clock. Works from the right side hash mark. Has got the snap again. Short drop. Looking. Throws the ball to the left. Got a catch. And getting away. And working down to about the ball's popped free again. Still free. And St. Xavier's got it, I believe. Let's see how they rule it. Scramble for it. Back inside the 20-yard line. Clock is going to continue to run. I believe they're going to say the whistle had sounded. So the ball is at just inside the 30-yard line at the 29. It'll bring up a 4th down call.
29-yard line. It will be 4th down and 4.
So the Cougars, are they going to take a timeout? I believe they will.
That's their first charge timeout of the half.
So that's their. They've got 2 remaining. We're going to step out in a 14-13 St. Francis lead. 4:54 on the clock. We'll be back to Chicago. This is Cougar Football on Redeemer Radio, WRDF 106.3 FM.
Signed by all the Cougar players.
Currently have only 1 quote on your mortgage rates and closing costs? Don't walk, run to Union Savings Bank to get a second opinion on one of life's largest expenses, a mortgage. Even if you don't have a mortgage, someone you care about could be overpaying right now on both their closing costs and interest over the life of the loan. Save money by telling them to always get a second opinion on closing costs and rates. The math does not lie. Call me, Brian Canary, at 442-6877 for a second opinion and your first choice for mortgage savings at Union Savings Bank. Union Savings Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender, NMLS number 118-1098.
St. Francis with the ball at the 29-yard line, and looking at 4th down and 4, talking over the options. Will they run a play, trying to get the ball to the 25, pick up a new set of downs? Ryan Nix, as far as field goes, he's 5 of 7 coming in. And inside of 30 yards, he's 4 for 4. From 30 to 39 yards, 1 for 2. Looks like they're going to run a play, though. They need 4 yards. So Hunsucker, blitz showing up the middle. Now they back away. Little motion to the right side. Hunsucker blitzes. Throws, and he's got a catch, and that's Coate, and he's trying to get to the first down stick, and he's there. Got another yard to the 24-yard line. A little crossing pattern.
Gain sufficient for St. Francis, 1st down.
So St. Francis will pick up a new set of downs to work with and keep the clock moving with 4:47 to play here in the half. Kilsaw in the ball game. And let's see if we get some of the other numbers. St. Francis offensive line getting a little banged up here tonight. Menardo, as we mentioned, did not start. It's been hurt the last couple of weeks. Did see action, but limped off the field. Bruner was limping a little bit. Here we go now, 1st and 10 with the ball at the 22. And here is Hunsucker looking and taking a lot of time. Now pump fakes flushed and throws the ball. He's got a catch. Working back to the middle of the field. That looks like Appenzeller. Appenzeller inside the 10. Gets down to about the 6-yard line. And here comes St. Francis on the march once again, trying to add to their 10 1-point lead.
Ruggles on the stop for
They'll
St.
have it
Xavier.
first and goal at the 5-yard line. Boy, Hunsucker waited a long time. They were flashing around him, but they never got to him. As the protectors did their job, and then Hunsucker flushed to his left and found, finally, in running the checkoffs, and found the little speedy Appenzeller, who ran down to the 5. Now they're going to bring in Jarzab with that Delta formation once again, looking to hand it off as he will roll to his left and now will run himself and needed 5 yards. And did he get into the end zone? Waiting, touchdown. Jarzab, another 5-yard touchdown run, is second of the night. And Cougars of St. Francis add 6 to their total. They'll lead at 20-13. Well, they ran for 2 yards back in the first quarter. This time, little play action rollout to the left side. He looked like he wanted to throw all the way, but then pulled it down and scampered just inside the pylon to make it 20-13. Nix now comes on to try to make it an 8-point advantage. Waiting for the snap. Jarzab is the holder, and penalty flags right at the get-go. Referee Jerry.
False start on the offense, number 98. 5-yard penalty. Replay the try.
That went against St. Francis. He'll back Nix up 5 yards, and he'll try again to make it 21-13. Again, an important conversion because it means it's a touchdown and a 2-point conversion separation. Now it's from 5 yards deeper. Again, Jarzab gets it down. Right-footed kick is blocked. And that one is going to go out of bounds. So block kick.
Is blocked.
So that is no good.
St. Francis 20, St. Xavier.
And it'll keep it a 20-13 ball game. Going to keep things right here. So the lead is 7. As Jarzab on that scramble play gets points on the board at the 3:45 mark. St. Francis won the toss, wanted the ball, so it'll be St. Xavier to get the ball when we start things in the second half. So obviously a key possession right now for St. Xavier. As they trail by 7 at home with 3:45 remaining, they'd love to get points on the board and then get the ball once again to start the second half. We mentioned the wind was blowing off the lake from the northeast. A crosswind here at St. Xavier. In theory, it should help the passing and the kicks going from left to right as we look at it. In theory.
Nix to kick off.
Nix ready to kick the ball away. DeBenedetti's been returning most of the kicks. He's lined up the goal line. Kick is away, high, end over end. DeBenedetti calls for it. He's got it at the 2. Brings it across the 5 to the 10, 15 up the middle. They've got him from behind as he's short of the 25-yard line. At about the 24 is where St. Xavier starts this offensive series. Trailing it by 7 at 20-13.
Allen. St. Xavier takes over. First down and 10.
St. Francis back home at Darcy Stadium next Saturday at high noon. They'll take on USF Illinois. St. Xavier takes a week off after this matchup. And their next game will be on the road on October 25th. They'll go to William Penn. William Penn, we saw them. They ran for 476 yards against St. Francis, and they're the real deal. Very tough team this year. Everybody's tough this year in the Mid-States Football Association. Not very many gimmies. Rhodey in at quarterback once again, got a little motion behind the line of scrimmage, screens the ball on a double pass perhaps. They're going to throw the ball downfield. They've got a man down there. That one is dropped. They had the step.
Carroll pass to Wells.
Randy Wells was the intended receiver.
Second down.
Pretty good defense by St. Francis. Stepped the ball slightly underthrown. Wells tried to stop for it, but in and out of his hands, incomplete. But it gives you an idea of the creative repertoire available for Mike Feminis and his offense. Now Rhodey looking to hand the ball off. Drop the football, scramble for a big pile up, and it's going to be a loss back around the 21-yard line.
Ball recovered by St. Xavier.
St. Xavier's got the ball, but now with the clock approaching, well, inside of 3.5 minutes, they've got 3rd down and 11. trying to get the ball out to their own 35-yard line, just short of the 35 to convert. 3 wide to the near side now, 4 wide make it, and they're going to still reposition some players out of that. Play clock is down to 13 for Rhodey. Out of the gun, waiting for the snap again. He's got it, gives a lot of ground. Now steps up, steps into throw over the middle, looking, and he's got the ball. Corey Stamps has got the interception. Stamps jumped the route and intercepts the ball for St. Francis at the 43-yard line. Well played ball. They were looking to get into the hands of Ryan Carroll, but Stamps had his eye on the football, dove for it, jumped inside, and to the ground he took it, and St. Francis will send the offense out now with 2:45 remaining in the half, and their lead is 20-13. So first big defensive play by St. Francis tonight. Corey Stamps, who played so well last year, and of course a key component of Kevin Downley's defense this year. Stamps, his first interception of the year, comes into the ballgame with 2 passes defended, 2 passes broken up. But a key interception, and now I think confusion by St. Francis offensively. Could hear some of the coaches in the box to our left not happy with what they saw. So the Cougars, who had 2 timeouts remaining, have to burn one here, and they'll have 1 left with 2:45 remaining.
St. Xavier Cougar Marching Band.
So Corey Stamps with the pick, his first of the year, and St. Francis with the ball at their own 43-yard line. And trying to maneuver for at least a field goal attempt from Ryan Nix, if not trying to get the touchdown. Well, we mentioned there's one other night game of interest in the Mid-States Football Association. That one was a little bit later starting, I think a 7 o'clock local time start. Our game here in Chicago kicked off at 6. But it was Robert Morris at 5-0. The Eagles taking on the USF Illinois Saints at 4-1. And of course, we'll see them, USF Illinois, next week in Fort Wayne. It'll be a battle of University of St. Francis teams. Here we go now. Let's see if the USF Cougars get it organized and settled down. First and 10, USF moving from left to right. And again, shotgun formation. And taking a look, stepping up, and they've got it's Hunsaker, who's stuffed and sacked for a loss back around the 35-yard line. Again, they pinched in from the defensive ends position. And the linebackers coming in there. Greg Hayward, who came in with 3 sacks, pinching in there. So it's a loss with the clock running at 2:20. Just got to be quicker than that. Ball back at the 37. Hunsaker looking. They've got him again. Escapes, flush to his left, sets his feet, throws, and a comeback sliding pattern. Is it going to be ruled a catch? It is. A yard deep into St. Xavier territory at the no, are they going to wave it off?
Complete.
No, they do call. No, they're going to bring it back. They call it no catch. First indication was a catch as Cote had to go down to the turf. That stops the clock with 2:07 remaining and now brings up 3rd down and long. They would have to get down to the 46-yard line of SXU. And again, remember, Corey Stamps' interception gave them possession at their own 43. Now Garrett Harvey in as the running back. Lined up directly behind Wes Hunsaker. Looking, he rolls to the left side. Looking, the blitz is coming, steps up. Now flush back to the right. Throws, looking for Cam Smith. He's got the catch. He's got it near side, inside the 35. And a big-time throw on the move. And Cam Smith came up with it just before it went out of bounds. They'll move the chains, and still time for the St. Francis Cougars. They'll have it 1st and 10 at the 31-yard line of SXU. That one was pretty well bracketed defensively by SXU. They had defenders in front and back, but it was delivered perfectly between defenders. Cote now comes back in wide to the left side. Also got a slot receiver out there to the left as Hunsaker has got motion. Akeem Kelsey Starts right to left, comes back to the right side. They look, they screen the ball. Toomey's got it and runs out of bounds. He'll stop the clock at around inside the 20-yard line. That's a play they scored on earlier in the ball game. Little wing-back move. He comes in motion from right to left and then reverses back. And it was wide open once again. They'll mark it just outside the 20 at the 21.
Correction, the 21-yard line.
Remember, the Cougars have one timeout. St. Francis with one timeout remaining. Smith stays in wide to the short side to the right. And let's see now if St. Xavier is going to call a timeout or officials coming over. They've held up play. Looks like they're not sure when our referee Jerry Frump is motioning. He wants apparently they want to bring the well, they ruled it short of the first down. A pickup of 9 yards, and they want to bring the chains all the way out from the far side from St. Francis sideline. So that's they've got to clear the way for that. So they'll bring the chains over to the near side.
This is now their first rodeo.
Remember that game last year in Fort Wayne between these two teams. St. Francis did not have the service of Antoine Campbell out with that ACL tear. Is going to stretch out the chains. Jerry Frump, our referee. Let's see if we hear anything down there on the sideline. Short by about the length of a football. So it will be 2nd down and 1 officially.
2nd down and a very short yard.
Garrett Harvey, though, did carry the ball last year for 17 times for 55 yards, scored a touchdown. Hunsucker came in the game in relief, completed 2 of 3 passes for 57 yards, threw a touchdown. Cam Smith with 7 catches, 108 yards a year ago. Now they're stretching out the chains now at the hash mark and want to make sure of every inch. Make sure they've got it positioned correctly. Well, I talked about it earlier. At least a couple of this crew of the 7 big-time officials. They were NFL replacement officials, including referee Jerry Frump. Worked a lot of arena ball when the Chicago Rush were in the league in the AFL, and of course when I was with Grand Rapids with the Rampage. Here we go, 1:53 on the clock. It'll be 2nd down and short. A lot of teams, this is where you want to try to throw it in the end zone with the knowledge it can come back 3rd down and short yardage situation. 3 wide to the left side for St. Francis, and the check at 2 wide to the left. Hunsucker checking off again with 16 yet on the play clock. And he's got 2 wide to the short side to the right. Blitz is coming, picks the ball up and throws. It tipped a little bit. There's a one-handed attempt. It's no good. That one got away from West as he was hit as he was trying to throw that ball. Just kind of popped in the air. Fortunately, fell incomplete. And now it will be 3rd down and 1. Hunsucker's checking out of there. Checking to the bench. Brad Jarzab will come in as the play clock is running. Game clock is stopped with 1:48 remaining. Cam Smith does stay in wide left to the wide side. 2 halfbacks and Antoine Campbell as the tailback. Jarzab walks away again. Play clock at 9. Got to get the play off. We're down to 7. We're down to 6, 5, 4 on the play clock. Jarzab calling the signals. 2, 1. Now they get the play off. And breaking a tackle. Campbell needed a yard. Got it. They had him trapped for a moment in the backfield for a loss, but he stepped out of the tackle as Nick Cimino had him for a moment, but couldn't bring him down. And they'll move the chains, so the clock does stop. It should stop till they move the chains. And now they run the clock once again with 96 seconds remaining. Cougars huddled up. St. Francis, it'll be 1st and 10 from the 19-yard line. 1 timeout remaining for St. Francis. And again, 2 wide to the left. That's the wide side of the field. Blitz again. This St. Xavier wanting to come with the play call. Here's a play action fake. They give it to Kelsaw. Kelsaw gets from 1, fights his way inside the 15, got to the 12 with 1:08 on the clock. Let's see if St. Francis will use that final timeout or try to run another play. They'll pick up about 6 on that call, that catch from Kelsaw. He's been effective here tonight. Hunsucker has found him a couple of times, once for a touchdown. Hunsucker ready to put the play, now walks away. Clock is at 49 seconds. And St. Francis, the play is held up. let's see the officials coming in. No indication what this official delay is all about. Let's see what we find from Jerry Frump here in just a moment. Still checking with a couple of his officiating fellows, still talking things over. Had no indication what the problem is. Well, they show second down and 3, but if you look at the down mark, it looks more like second down and about 4. Still, we've not had any clarification. Now they go over to talk to Coach Kevin Dowley what the holdup is about. And let's see if we find out from referee Jerry Frump.
We have offsides on the defense, number 40. 5-yard penalty, remains second down. St. Francis is the clock will start on the ready.
Well, let's see if it's a 5-yard walk-off. That should be an automatic first down because, or close to it.
The result for the penalty is a first down.
Yeah, now Jerry Frump changes it.
The clock will start on the snap.
And the clock will stop, but it start on the snap. Code in wide left. 49.6 seconds. First and goal now from the 7-yard line. Campbell's in as the running back, offset and flanked to the right behind Hunsucker. Hunsucker wants to throw, drops, rushes, holds it down, and did not get rid of it again. Takes the sack and just waits too long. Well, you love him to death, but he's got to make better decisions and does not read where the blitz is coming from, does not move away from it. Takes the sack, and that'll move him back to the 15-yard line, second and goal. And a timeout called by St. 0.9 seconds, so it'll be second down and 15. We'll keep things right here. And we'll look at the halftime numbers.
Ladies and gentlemen,
we'll sneak back to a look at some of the first quarter numbers that we had as far as penalties. Each team had 1. St. Francis for 5 yards, St. Xavier for 10. On third down, St. Francis very effective tonight. Don't have the updated number, but in that first quarter, after going 1 for 12 last week, they were 4 of 5 on third down. In the first 15 minutes, St. Xavier was 1 of 2. In fact, St. Francis gambled on fourth down, and they were 1 of 1 in that particular category. Both teams in the red zone, very effectively mentioned. It has been a shootout, and at the end of the first quarter is Robert Morris leading USF Illinois 3-0. Appreciate the update, guys. But in this shootout, it's settled down a little bit right now. It's 20-13, but both teams are 2 for 2 in the red zone so far tonight.
3, St. Francis of Illinois 0. That's the end.
So it'll be second down and goal. Well, what we've seen tonight is with the play calling, it has been very diverse, and USF's had great success in getting the ball in the hands of Akeem Kelsall. He's in the ball game up on the wing to the right side. Let's see if he comes in motion again, and let's see if St. Xavier has adjusted him. Right now, though, he just runs downfield. Here's a throw to the corner, looking for Cam Smith, and he's got the ball knocked away, and no penalty. So he left his feet, tried to go up and then get a foot in bounds, but he could not catch the ball. It'll be third down and goal. By the way, it was Seth Coate out there trying to make that leaping catch. Seth had a great first quarter, 3 catches for 41 yards. And so did Kelsall with 3 catches for 33 yards. Now it's third down and goal, still from the 15-yard line. 37.1 seconds remaining. Smith in wide to the right. Right now he's got single coverage. And Hunsucker looking to throw again. Gives ground. Looking. The blitz is coming. Flush to his left. They've got him again. He just cannot make quicker decisions.
Hayward and Mathieu on the stop.
Keeps taking the sacks, giving ground. Does not get rid of the ball. Just cannot feel that pressure coming.
Second charge timeout of the half.
So it'll bring up fourth down. And now a decision with fourth and goal. And even longer, 30.9 seconds to play in the half. And with the ball back at the 20-yard line. And let's see if they are going to try to bring in Ryan Nix to attempt the field goal. And this one will be about a 41-yard effort. So Nix from 30 to 39 is 1 for 2, over 50 yards. He's 0 for 1. Remember, he missed that 50-yarder a couple of weeks ago. This one, let's see, they're going to try to shorten the distance. He's had an extra point blocked here tonight. This will be a 37-yard attempt. Got to get it up quick. Jarzeb is the holder from the left side hash mark. Just inside that from 37 yards out. Try and extend a 7-point advantage for St. Francis. Here's the snap. Kick is on the way. Blocked again. That ball's picked up. It's going to be returned for a touchdown. Nobody near him. So it'll be convoyed. They've got 4 of them running into the end zone. And a touchdown. And we are looking at a tie ball game. That ball was picked up and run back on the block kick. And you had to worry about that after the missed extra point that was blocked. And picked up for a block kick, return, pick 6. And as soon as we can find it, looks like that was Matt Johnson. Matt Johnson picking up the ball.
Touchdown by Matt Johnson.
Matt Johnson at the 18-second mark, so that one hurts. Now the extra point to tie the game. Monty up and on the way, and it's good. So from up 7, now it's 20-20 in a new ball game with 18.6 seconds remaining in the first half. It's been wild and woolly here in Chicago. We'll keep things right here. Looked like St. Francis might have shortened up a little bit. Normally it would have been about a 39 to a 40-yard field goal attempt. They tried to shorten it up, and Ryan Nix, they just could not get it off quick enough and high enough. Did not go across the line of scrimmage, and instead went backwards and picked up on the run by Mac Johnson and a return of some 75 yards. We'll get the official numbers here at halftime. Now St. Xavier will kick it away. Remember, they will get the ball to start the second half. And Coach Donnelly trying to fire his troops up here on the road at halftime and get them to play exactly as the case is in a new ball game and in a 20-20 tie. And we'll see what kind of a kick return that St. Francis can come up with. Now apparently St. Xavier having a little problem with the tee. Asking the back judge to come in, a little help. And getting ready for the kickoff now. And here's a line drive squib kick, bounding kick, fielded at the 30-yard line. A return to the right side by Matt Knoll across the 40 to the 45 with 12 seconds to play. So Matt Knoll, one of the up people, picking up that bounding ball, that squib kick. And the good news, very good field position for St. Francis. The bad news, you have time for just maybe one snap. Here at the 45-yard line, they'll have one play, at least one play, moving from left to right. Still waiting for the Cougar offense to come out, St. Francis offense. And here we go. Well, will you just take a knee, or are you tempted to throw it as long as you can? St. Xavier really not expecting anything deep. They've got 2 back, but only at their own 45. Here's Hunsucker, throws near side, and that's to nobody. Takes the clock down to 7.6 seconds remaining. Hunsucker was knocked to the ground, but helped up. Nick Cimino got in there. And so now 7.6 seconds remaining until intermission. St. Francis still huddled up with the play clock running at 14 seconds. They've got to take at least one more snap. Seth Stewart in up in the slot to the left side. 2 wide right. Hunsucker And looks, screens the ball. He's got Cam Smith with 4, with 3. Works back the middle of the field. Still looking for running room at the 35 to the 30. And tripped up and dropped. It'll be the final play of the first half as he got it down to about the 25-yard line. But too little, too late. As St. Francis runs out of time as they were on the move once again on the drive, but they've been turned away from adding to their, what was a 20-13 lead, had an extra point blocked, and then the field goal blocked that resulted in a touchdown the other way. 20-20 tie here at halftime, and we are going to take a halftime time out, and we'll be back with more of our halftime coverage. This is Cougar Football on the Road on Redeemer Radio, WRDF 106.3 FM.
It's the halftime report with scores.
All right, Joe, I'm running the halftime open here.
Yeah, you want to dial me back to? Run the 60 and then call back.
Sure.
Today's show pays tribute to...
In this series, a lot of offense between these two teams. A year ago in Fort Wayne, they combined for 895 yards of total offense. That game last year in Fort Wayne, Greg Hayward had 5 tackles, half for loss, and a sack. And for St. Francis, Kyle Mathewson, 6 tackles, 3 for loss, a sack, and a quarterback hurry. Keith Harris also with 6 tackles and 2 for loss. And those are 2 names that we've got to hear a lot more of as this second half unfolds. So they've reset the clock, getting ready to start here now the second half. St. Xavier with their kickoff return unit huddled up, not yet out in position. We're waiting. Now the kickoff team for USF coming out on the field. They'll kick away from right to left.
And kicking off for St. Francis.
So Ryan Nix will tee it up at the 35-yard line. De Benedetti with the kickoff returns, 2 of them. Total of 38 yards, had a long of 24 in the first 30 minutes. And he'll wait inside the 5 at about the 1-yard line. So here we go. Second 30 minutes. Let's see if it's as exciting as the first 30. Nick's ready, gets the go-ahead from the official. Approaches, and the right-footed kick high, end over end. De Benedetti will run up to it at the 6. Brings it out to the 15, to the 20. 25, lowers the shoulder, bowls the way out across the 25, maybe to the 26-yard line. And that is where the SXU Cougars now will send John Rohde and company out for their first offensive series of the ball game in this 2020 tie. Again, Rohde's number 6 of 10 through the air. Looked like he threw a lot more than just 10 attempts. Had 87 yards and a long of 52 in the first 30 minutes. First and 10 from the 26-yard line. And Rohde out of the shotgun. Now they reposition the running back. That's De Benedetti. They'll screen it near side, though, and a run. And again, by St. Francis. They had them wrapped up for a moment, and a lot of Olay tackles at the 28. Instead, it's a run across the 35-yard line.
On the 35-yard line.
So that will be good for about 9 yards. And again, they're lined up to the line of scrimmage, ready to go to work again. 2 protectors in either side. They'll run the ball, and an angled run to the left, and that'll be good for the first down across the 35 to about the 36, maybe the 37-yard line. Steve Sims getting the call that time.
First down, St. Xavier.
Sims 2 carries last week against Grandview for 18 yards. He's got 32. They'll use him everywhere. As a wideout, is also a running back. They want to run on the jet sweep coming near side. The Cougars this time, St. Francis. Kyle Mathewson along with Deshaun Lewis. And a little help as well from Keith Harris. Run that down for a pickup of only a couple.
Second 8.
Well, it's second down and 8 with the ball right at the SXU just across the 37-yard line. Second down and 8. They'll work from the right side hash mark. Again, 2 protectors in. Rody out of the gun. Motion from left to right behind the line of scrimmage by Ryan Carroll. And play action fake. They want to throw near side. He's got a step, and there's Carroll with a catch inside the 25 and down to the 20-yard line. Elliot Nelson got beat. Just did not pick him up. Didn't realize the quickness of Ryan Carroll, and on the money was Rody. And here comes SQ trying to break the 20-all tie. They'll have it 1st and 10 at the USF 20-yard line.
On the St. Francis 20-yard line.
Same set with 2 halfbacks in either side, flanked. They'll run the ball. Here's a cutback to the left. That was well defended by St. Francis. Maybe a yard and a half. Steven Sims on the carry. Been the featured running back so far in the early start of the second half. Steve Kiermaier credited with getting in on the tackle. Looks like Sims lost his helmet's going to come out of the ball game.
No gain on the play.
Call it no gain. Now Joshua Hunter's back in as the setback, a one-back offense. Flanked to the left and a little bit behind John Rody. Receives gives it the play action. No, he did give it to Hunter, and Hunter brings it inside the 20 to about the 18-yard line.
Jones of St. Francis.
So a third down call coming up. See where they spot that ball. Just inside the 20 at the close to the 18-yard line. So call it 3rd down and 9. Short 9. Rody out of the gun. A little motion from left to right. Drops the throw. Looking. Throws right side. He's got a wide open grab. Nobody near Ryan Carroll. So Carroll got him in position with a nice catch.
1st down, Cougars.
Again, they just stretch your defense out and take what you give them. And it'll be 1st down and goal now from the 7-yard line. Rody stays with the one-back set. Protector off to the left side. Looking and hands the ball off. Here's Hunter looking for running room. He finds it off tackle to the left side and got close. Down inside the 2, close to the 1-yard line. And now we've got a player down. That might be Hunter, I believe, still down. So there's going to be an injury timeout here, delay, as they tend to the St. Xavier player down. Still on his back down there. I believe that's the running back that just carried that ball. So we have a timeout here in Chicago. Still 20-20, but it'll be a great opportunity for St. Xavier to break the tie. See, now they're setting him up. And I believe it is Hunter. And assisting him to his feet.
All right.
No, it's going to be Steve Sims. Steven Sims is the injured player down there, right in the vicinity of the goal line. But coming off basically hands on hips, looks like he's okay. Maybe just had his bell rung. But it'll be 2nd down and goal from the 1-yard line for St. Xavier. They led early in the ball game at 3-0. And have played from behind since. But right now, they'll run the ball and try to get into the end zone. And no indication by the officials yet whether they got that necessary yard while they unpile. And a touchdown. Took a while. No idea who got the touchdown. We'll see if we can pick that up. It'll be officially a yard of one yard run at the 11:55 mark. And St. Xavier has broken the tie, and they have the lead of 6, pending the extra point try coming up from Abdul Mahdi.
For the point after.
Trying to give them their biggest lead of the night. Led early at 3-0. Right-footed kick is on the way, and that is good. So 27-20, St. timeout here in Chicago. And now, St. Francis USF tries to answer their score with one of their own. This is Cougar Football on the Road on Redeemer Radio, WREF 106.3.
Hi, sports fan. Sean McBride here, inviting you to try the Barbershop experience. St. Joe Center Barbershop, located at the corner of St. Joe Center and Maple Crest, prides itself on professionalism, cleanliness, and a family-friendly atmosphere. In their third generation of family ownership, they have a combined experience of over 125 years. Give them a call at 485-6981. It's my barbershop of choice. That's St. Joe Center Barbershop at 485-6981.
27-20, that was quarterback John Rohde called his own number, got it into the end zone. And for Rohde, that is his 5th rushing touchdown of the year. St. Xavier with their biggest lead of the night. They led early 3-0, then played from behind, but now they lead by 7. And we'll find if St. Francis has got an answer. They'll move from right to left. Appenzeller back deep along with Aaron Harris. Here comes the left-footed kick. High, short again, far side. And Harris calls for it. It's got it at about the 15. Brings it up the right boundary. He's got running room up to the 40, 45. And brings tacklers down into St. Xavier territory inside the 45 to the 43-yard line. Aaron Harris tackling that short kickoff and just brought it straight up the boundary along the hash mark. And a good return. And St. Francis now has got great field position at the 43-yard line of SXU. Well, Redeemer Radio Sports thanks H&O Electric for being our travel sponsor for tonight's game. For all your electrical contracting needs, be sure to call H&O Electric at 260-402-3541. 402-3541. Hunsucker ready to take his first snap of the second half. He's got a running back lined up behind, gives to Campbell. Campbell off tackle, finds some running room. He's got 7, he's got 8, he's got 9 yards as he takes the ball inside the 35-yard line, down off tackle to the right, and they'll spot him down at about the 34-yard line. So he picks up 8 yards, maybe 9. Second down, let's call it a long one. St. Francis with Ryan Gagner in there, replacing Zach Menardo. He's seen some minutes, but came up limping back in the first half. And again, it is Nashawn Lewis who is operating both sides of the ball. He's up on the wing to the left side, but they give to Campbell again, and he finds room off tackle. Back pedals inside the 25-yard line, down to the 23-yard line. Antoine Campbell.
Stopped by Fitzgerald.
Campbell, who ran 4 times.
St. Francis first down.
For just a net 1-yard pickup, so he's been inspired here at intermission. He's picked up some nice yardage on a couple of calls his way, and it's 1st and 10 for St. Francis. 10:53 remaining in this third quarter. St. Xavier's broken the 20-20 tie. They lead at 27-20. Cam Smith in wide to the right side. Hunsucker out of the pistol with 2 wide to the left. Looking and gives it off. Again, a running play and spinning, keeping his footing and fighting it down to about the 15-yard line. Antoine Campbell, his 3rd carry of this series. Robert Morris has added another field goal. They now lead St. Francis at the half. USF Illinois at 6-0. Well, points at a premium in that one. Not so much here tonight. In this one on the south side of Chicago at 27-20. That was a gain of 6. Let's call it 2nd down and 4. They're going to keep Campbell in. He's been the workhorse carrying the ball in this series so far. 3 wide to the left. Hunsucker barking out. Here comes the blitz, defensive left side, and there was movement. And let's see if somebody flinched for St. Francis. And 3 for 15.
On the offense, number 63. 5-yard penalty, remains 2nd down.
We talked about Zach Menardo back in there again, flinched a little bit, and they caught him, and that'll cost him 5. So the 3rd down and 4 call becomes 3rd down and closer to 9.
964-60.
St. Francis on 3rd down calls in that first half. They were 4 of 5. Check it at halftime. On 3rd downs, they were 7 of 12. Here we go now. Little spin move by Hunsucker. Looking, throws to the middle. He's got a catch for a first down. That's Seth Stewart, I believe, fighting inside the 5, pushed out of bounds and backwards, somewhere around the 3, maybe the 2-yard line. Let's see where they're going to mark it across the way on the St. Francis side. It will be first and goal. We know that. Maybe around the 2. Let's see where they put the ball down. Cole Campbell has been effective running the ball. And let's see if they're going to go back to the Delta formation with Jarzab. They will.
On the 3-yard
goal from the 2-yard line. Here comes St. Francis up to the line of scrimmage. Jarzab has run for 2 touchdowns tonight. Looking, and he hands it off. And they're going to take a loss. Nicodemus got the call and is going to lose yardage back to around the 6-yard line. Well, that time Jarzab handed it off and did not have that good of a fake because he was left alone, but they ignored him. So second and goal now from back around the 7-yard line. And let's see what the call will be now by USF. Monte McDowell comes back in. He was injured earlier in the ball game, but shaking that off. Cam Smith in. Sent to the right side, and up on the slot will be Akeem Kelsaw. Man coverage out there for St. Xavier. And Hunsucker trying to make a play. He's got motion left to right, rolls to his right, being pursued, throws on the run. He's got an easy catch for a touchdown. Seth Stewart on the catch. So from 7 yards out, after the loss, they bounce right back with a 7-yard touchdown toss at the 8:22 mark. And pending the extra point conversion, we'll have yet another tie.
Won the 405 big ones. Congratulations. Here's the number for the helmet.
Seth Stewart on the touchdown catch. That is his first of the year. And now Nix with the all-important extra point. Remember, he's had an extra point kick blocked. He's had a field goal blocked, and it's a fire play. It's a fake all the way. Jarzab trying to run it in for the 2-point conversion. I don't think he got there. He did not. That was not a fake. That was a designed bootleg play all the way. But they did not catch St. Xavier napping. So it remains a lead for SXU at 27-26 with a timeout. We'll be back with 8 Radio WRDF 106.3 FM.
Xavier Staffing, locally owned by the Pentenberg family, excels in finding the best candidates for industrial, clerical, customer service, non-clinical healthcare, IT, and professional direct hire placements. Xavier clients are accustomed to getting the right employees at the right time, every time. Xavier Staffing supports the proud excellence of the Dwenger Saints and the Lures Knights, both on the field and in the classroom. Whether you're seeking your next career move, searching for great employees, call us at 260-496-9900 or visit us on the web at Spherion.com/FTWayne.
Coaching staff for St. Francis kind of gambling that, again, with success by SXU with blocking kicks and field goals, that they would be massing up the middle and trying to cross them up with a little roll out to the right side. Jarzab actually tried to bring it back into the middle and just could not get in and cross the plane of the goal. 27-26, and now Nix will kick it away. Drives it end over end high. Down, it'll be taken at the 5. Return to the 10 to Benedetti, and it's got some running room off the left side, and then up in it. He crossed the 20-yard line, got it out to about the 22, maybe the 23.
Tackled by Lewis.
So now, which team's going to come up a little defense? St. Francis would love to get a stop, maybe a turnover. They've had a Corey Stamps interception that did not produce points. And a fumble recovery by St. Xavier that did lead to an early 3-0 lead by SXU. Brody's gone all the way at quarterback tonight. And he'll come out with an empty backfield and 4 wide to the right. So St. Francis trying to get set for this. Look, unbalanced to the right is here's Rhodey wanting to screen the ball. Pump fake, now throws it as far as he can. Got a wide open catch. Nobody near. And it may be a touchdown as it's taken by Randall Wells and out of bounds just short of the goal line. Little pump fake and they pump and go. And they caught St. Francis lacking again defensively.
Howard Smith on the stop for St. Francis.
St. Francis brought Spencer Coward in that series, and it's out of bounds after the catch by Randall Wells at the 1-yard line. So it's been very, very easy for the SXU Cougars offensively. And now they'll have a chance to extend a 1-point lead. Here's a counter run coming up and a run into the end zone, and that'll be good for a touchdown. So add 6 to the lead. It'll make it 33-26 in favor of SXU. 1-yard touchdown run at the 7:52 mark. St. Francis not had a lot of pressure on John Rohde tonight. They've not been able to get to him. Remember, this is a guy that was sacked 3 times last week by Grandview. Not here tonight. So the lead is 7. And now the extra point attempt by Monty trying to give them a lead of 8, then that would be there. And this was blocked at the line of scrimmage. And that one, it did cross this line of scrimmage, so I believe that's a dead ball. And it will leave it the advantage, SXU at 7 with a timeout. Chicago 33-26. So both teams coming up with blocked extra points. This is Cougar football on Redeemer Radio, WRDF 106.3 FM.
With number 829-111.
Hello, I'm Tom Steele with Tom Steele Tire and Auto Repair, a family-owned business for over 35 years. We carry all major brands of new tires as well as a large selection of quality used tires to save you money. We do all types of auto repairs, be it brakes, alignment, or just fix your air conditioning. Tom Steele Tire, North Clinton or Illinois Road. Give us a try. You'll be glad you did.
Did not say you got a hand on that ball for St. Francis to block the extra point kick, but that's a big one because it leaves it within a touchdown and extra point difference. 33-26 now, and obviously an eternity remaining in this ball game. 7:52 on the clock. And Appenzeller and Harris will drop back in kick return. Moving from right to left. Monty's done the bulk of the kicking tonight. Place kicking and kickoffs. And the left-footed kicker is ready and approaching. And drives it again. This time a little bit of a low-line driver. Appenzeller hurries to it at the 10. Crosses back middle of the field, 15-20. Looking for an opening. Got it to the 20, 25, 30. Still on his feet right side across the 40-yard line. And up short of the 45. Cody Appenzeller's got the Cougars of St. Francis in pretty good field position at their own 44, or very close to it.
St. Francis 43-yard line.
Appenzeller with that stature. He goes 5'9". 179, but he's got that ability, a little stutter step, a little stop and go moves, and very elusive, very tough with that 5'9" frame to locate and then try to bring down. So Wes Hunsaker's got great field position to work with. His team trails by 7 here on the road. He's got 2 protectors in. Again, flanked either side. 2 wide to the near side. They'll run the ball with Campbell. Evades the rush. Samino is coming through, almost untouched. And Kevin Downley cannot be happy about what he's seen about his offensive line. As Samino into the almost the backfield at the handoff. But Campbell able to dodge him and gain a yard out of it. Just trying to find a way to buy a little time. Hunsaker out of the shotgun formation once again. Now he's got 2 wide either side of the field. Looks near side. Noel picks it up and battles for it at midfield. Takes it a yard deep into SXU territory. It'll be a 3rd down call coming up, 3rd and 3. Going to spot that ball at the 48 of St. Xavier.
3rd down 2.
Yeah, oh yeah, I agree.
The ball is in St. Xavier territory.
So they've got to get down to just outside the 45 at the 46-yard line. Needing a couple, long 2. 40 remaining here in the 3rd quarter. Hunsaker checking his left wristband for the play he wants to call. Steps away with 11 on the play clock. Checks the sideline, the St. Francis sideline. If they want to change up a little bit, they do. Appenzeller now resets on the wing to the right side. And they'll look, play action spin. Here is Hunsaker looking, throws over the middle, and laying out for it. Find it. Incomplete pass. Good effort that time by Seth Stewart, who just had the touchdown catch. But a little wide, a little high.
Benedetti will be deep to receive the punt.
Stewart laying out for it, but could not find it. Another guy goes 5'7", Richard Freshman. And it'll bring Josh Spitnail in to punt the ball away. Waiting back inside of his 40-yard line. So St. Francis goes 3 and out. Here's the snap, and there was a penalty flag. There was movement at the line of scrimmage. Let's see. Now, remember, it was 4th down and 2.
We have encroachment on the offense. Number 29 lined up in the neutral zone. 5-yard penalty, remains 4 down.
Well, that's a little different. Encroachment, but on the offense. They said Trevon Wilson, but I'm not sure about that. But it's going to cost them 5 yards instead of 4th down and 2. It'll be 4th down and 7. And Spitnail will set up shop now back inside of his 35 at the 33, ready to kick this away. Rush is coming, got the kick away high. And into the night sky. Fair catch is called at the 15 by DeBenedetti. So St. Xavier gobble up a lot of yards in a hurry their last offensive series, and they'll bring John Rohde and company out once again, ready to go to work with 6:09 remaining in this third quarter. We mentioned that's SXU idle next week. Their next action on the road a couple of weeks from tonight. They'll be in Iowa taking on William Penn on the 25th of October. St. Francis back home. It'll be a battle of St. Francis teams next Saturday at high noon at Darcy Stadium. USF Joliet, Illinois against USF Fort Wayne. Rohde works from the right side hash mark. He's got a little motion now behind the line of scrimmage and wants to throw out of that. No, again, a lot of time. He's got a man downfield, and there's another catch. And the ball nearly stolen away, but again, the St. Francis secondary is just getting beat. So then one to Ryan Carroll. Ryan Carroll on the catch, running the fly pattern near sidelines. It's got to be very, very frustrating. St. Francis giving up a big yardage through the air. And a big part of it, no pressure whatsoever on John Rohde. This was a St. Xavier offense that had given up 7 sacks coming in, 3 of them last week, but none so far here tonight. And now they've got good field position at the St. Francis 46-yard line. 1st and 10. Rohde talking to one of his linemen. Now he's back out of the shotgun formation. Looking again to hand the ball off, but he calls his own number, and he takes off, and goes off tackle, and nobody home again inside the 35, goes to the 34. Little read option by John Rohde, faking the handoff to the running back, and coming right back. And running off tackle the left side with a lot of running room. Jason Gardner now comes back in defensively for St. Francis. 1st and 10. SXU, Rohde, play action fake, pump fake. Now wanting to throw, and it's got a catch over the middle. That's a inside the 20 to carry down to the 15-yard line. It was DeBenedetti. So SXU again with that just a very potent offense. On the march once again. They're at the St. Francis 15-yard line. They lead by 7. Rohde looking, wants to hand it off. Off tackle run. Oh, no, he kept it himself, and that time Keith Harris wrapped him up for the loss.
Harris on the stop for St. Francis.
That's a tackle back around the 15, so no gain. It'll be 2nd down and 10 from the 15-yard line. This offensive line for SXU averages 275 a man. Sean Jones seen a lot of the snaps tonight, doing the snapping to Rohde. They've got him again. They work on the jet sweep, but they'll turn it up for a loss, this time outside of the 15. St. Francis with the player injured and going down to one knee. I think that's Keith Harris. Set out last week's game with an injury. Corey Terrell did not practice during the week. Kevin Daly said that he was going to try to dress maybe tonight, but he was extremely doubtful because of not practicing. Well, Harris limping a little bit, but coming off under his own power, basically. So now it's 3rd down and 12. They've tried to run a couple of times. They've been much more effective here in the second half, and you would expect they'll put it in the air once again. Rhodey with an empty backfield net. 3 wide to the right, 2 wide to the left. Little motion out of it. And once pump fake again, throws to the corner of the end zone, looking, and no good. That time through to the back line.
Pass intended for Carroll, incomplete.
Ryan Carroll, the intended receiver, incomplete, so they'll try to add a field goal and extend what is a 7-point advantage, trying to take a 10-point lead.
And Abdelmadi in to attempt a field goal.
This will be about a 35-yard attempt. Close to the right side hash mark. From 30 to 39, Monty coming in is 0 for 1 from this distance. He's been perfect so far tonight. Low snap, got the kick away. He's got the distance. It's tailing a little bit, but it's good. 35-yard field goal by Amati. And that'll add 3 to the total and make it a 10-point lead at 36-26. 35-yard field goal is good. 4:11 on the clock. We'll be back. This is Cougar Football on Redeemer Radio, WRDF 106.3 FM.
A clean office space. Okay, that's an easy choice. And choosing the right company to clean your business is easy too. Sioka's Professional Cleaning is the choice of a lot of Fort Wayne companies because of the 100% satisfaction guarantee. Sioka's does it with built-in check systems to make sure your business cleaned beyond your expectations every time. First impressions are critical, so make sure yours is always the best with professional cleaning from Sioka's. The best people, the best service. 483-2112 or online at Siokas.com.
Well, this was a 20-20 tie at halftime, and the teams with 555 yards of total offense in the first half, and St. Xavier has really added to what they had. They had 206 at halftime, and they've had a couple of long, big plays in this third quarter that add mightily to that total. So it'll be interesting to see what the third quarter stats look like. Right now, the big one that counts is a 10-point deficit for USF here on the road. St. Francis was 1-0 on the road. High, short kick, end over end. And looking, this will be returned across the 10 to the 15-20. And Eppenzeller picks his way across the 30-yard line up to about the 34.
Tackled by Kelso. The ball is spotted on the...
So St. Francis again brings the offense back out, ready to go to work again. Trying to get some good yardage gains going. Had some luck last series with Antoine Campbell.
Let's go, get that ball, defense!
And culminated with a Seth Stewart touchdown catch. And we'll see what they come up with now. Now the penalty flag was thrown, and I believe it's going to be legal substitution.
Substitution infraction. And St. Francis, 5-yard penalty, remains first down.
Well, again, Kevin Downey talked about the little things, all the little things that can go wrong and have during what has been just a tough time in recent weeks. And there's another one. They had too many men on the field in a legal substitution. Well, they were breaking the huddle coming up to the line of scrimmage. So instead of 1st and 10, it's 1st and 15 with the ball back at the 29. Jerry Frump, our referee, still chatting with one of his officials. And going to mark the play clock ready. And here we go. So Hunsucker with Campbell in there, the running back lined up behind him. Here's West, takes the snap, screens the ball near side. He's got a catch, and looking to move up to about the 35-yard line. Quick hitting play. Cody Appenzeller had it and runs upfield for about, let's see, we're going to mark that ball up.
2nd down 10.
Right short of the mark at 34-yard line, so 2nd down and 10. Hunsucker looking, rush is coming. Flush to his right. Now there's a penalty flag. He'll get rid of it, throw it away. Well, that's the good news. He did not take the sack. Got rid of the football, but there's going to be a hold, I believe, nonetheless, against St. Francis. They were looking in the direction of Gus Hancock.
We have a personal foul on the offense, number 73. We have 15-yard penalty from the previous spot. Second down.
So it's not a hold, it was a personal foul. Frustration starting to mount for St. Francis here tonight on the road. So a 15-yard walk. And that'll take the ball back, nose of the football inside the 20-yard line.
Let's go, dude!
St. Francis more and more getting themselves into a bigger hole. Now it's second down and 25. Not much bounce in the step of St. Francis in this tough series right here. Seth Codian wide to the near side. Flanked inside of him is Appenzeller. Hunsucker again with a protector in. Campbell to the left, moving at the line of scrimmage, but Hunsucker screens the ball. He's got Coat and trying to spin out of a tackle. That'll be a short gain only, so bring up third down, still very long.
Intended for Coat.
Just not much there. And Hunsucker a little gun shy. He has not had the time in the second half that he had in the first half. So they call it, I believe, no gain. It'll be third down. Still third down and 25 with the ball at the 19-yard line. St. Francis would have to get out to their own 44-yard line on this snap. SXU, two safeties back. They're back around the 30-yard line. Hunsucker rolling to the right, looking, taking a look. Throw, pumps, pulls it down, throws over the middle, and this one's picked off. Just threw it up for grabs. And that's an interception at the 42-yard line. Let's see who came up with that ball. I believe it was Dan Fitzgerald rotating back from his... So it'll be SXU ball with 3:14 remaining. They'll have it first and 10 at the St. Francis 43-yard line.
The St. Francis 43-yard line, first down 10.
First interception of the night by Wes.
Nice job, dude!
And now, yeah, that's right. They had a man coming off, and they missed that. That should have been an illegal substitution against SXU as they'll run the ball up the middle. And that is very frustrating when you can't get the same treatment.
Gain of 7 on the play.
Player that came off just before the snap was for St. Xavier. I believe that was Mike Ivelo, and they never called it. As it is, it's going to be a run and a gain of about 7, second down and 3. Those are the things that just drive you nuts. When you see a penalty going one way and the exact same thing is done and not called the other way. Here's Rhodey looking to throw long again to the corners. Got a man, the ball's fought for and incomplete. Double coverage that time. Cougars got back there with Cody Stamps was back. Corey Stamps had some help as well by Tabler, but incomplete. It'll bring up third down and short. Third down and a long 3. Again, they don't even huddle up. They've got a bunch tandem line up here on the near side. Tight trips. Rhodey, will he throw or will he hand it off? Does hand it off, and they've got the easy first down. That's a gain inside the 30-yard line to about the 29.
Tackle by Kiermaier, and it's
Steve Kiermaier on the tackle once again, but he had to reach behind to stop the ball carrier from any further damage. With 2:26 now remaining in this third quarter. It'll be a new set of downs for St. Xavier to work with. Rhodey again looking to hand it off, and does hand it off. St. Francis stops that for no gain.
Left side.
Good play defensively.
Gain on the play. Harris on the tackle.
Keith Harris credited with the stop. Not a lot to shout about so far for St. Francis in the second half. From a 20-20 tie, now they trail 36-26. Inside of 2 minutes, time remaining in the third quarter. Rhodey drops, throws back, checks off to the left side, and a little bit of contact down there along the goal line, but no penalty flag.
Coverage by Stamps.
Corey Stamps had the coverage. And here we go on this third down and 10 call. again. Spread offense, too wide either side of the field. Now they walk away with 18 on the play clock. And they're going to reposition, I believe, Joshua Hunter back. And are they going to have to take a timeout? We're inside of 10. We're down to 9. Rhodey lets his center know, and the offensive lineman as well with the play call. He's got 2 now. And looking play action fake. Rolls to his right, being pursued. Throws on the run, and that one's incomplete. So now it's going to be 4th down coming up, and it looks like they're going to try to bring Mahdi on to attempt a long field goal. He's got a long of 45 yards this year. Did not attempt a field goal last week. Was 5 for 5 on extra points. Has done a very good job on extra points other than the last block by St. Francis. This will be from 43 yards out. And he wants a timeout, I believe, or something, some kind of a change. Some problem with the holder or the spot of where he wanted, so they burn a timeout. 32 remaining in this quarter. We'll keep things right here in this 36-26 ball game. This one will be a quick one. Last report, Morris, USF-Illinois ball game was 6 at halftime. So a couple of field goals by the Eagles getting them the halftime lead, but still anybody's ball game in that one. Robert Morris entered the contest at 5-0. And USF Joliet was 4-1. And that one of direct interest, of course, to St. Francis fans, both in the Mid-East League. We'll see USF Illinois next week at home at Darcy Stadium in that 12 kickoff. SXU huddled up and now ready to attempt the field goal. Monty didn't like something, and he's going to back him up, I think, a yard. So it'll be a 44-yard attempt. St. Francis, everybody bunched up, trying to get in there. They blocked an extra point tonight. And let's see, Monty has it and got it away. And long enough, and it is good. 44-yard field goal. Now the lead grows from 10 to 13 at 39-26 with 96 seconds remaining in the quarter. So the interception by Fitzgerald sets up the 45-yard field goal. And the lead grows to 39-26 with a timeout. And we'll be back after this 30-second break. This is Cougar Football on Redeemer Radio, WRDF 106.3 FM.
Catch all of the Redeemer Radio sports action on social media. Find direct links to our social media pages by visiting our website, redeemerradio.com, and found under resources. On YouTube, watch video highlights of each Redeemer Radio game of the week. Keep up to date with all the sports action on Twitter. Follow us at 1063 Sports and stay in the action of the Redeemer Radio Sports on social media.
Well, the 8:22 mark, this was a 27-26 ball game after St. Francis has scored and tried a little fire play, a bootleg by Brad Jarzeb to try to get the lead, but he couldn't get into the end zone for the 2-point conversion. And since that point, it has been 12 on the board by St. Xavier, and that includes a pair of field goals of late, 35 yards, and most recently 45. Kick again, Appenzeller returns. This time he's running into a lot of red shirts, and short of the 20-yard line is where St. Francis will start.
Friend on the stop for St. Xavier.
Still exactly 1:30 on the clock here in the third quarter. We'll see who St. Francis and Kevin Downey send out now. It It will be Wes Hunsucker in at quarterback. He's done the bulk of the quarterback calling here tonight. Jarzab's come in a couple of special situations, has run for a couple of touchdowns. He'll hand the ball off, and here's a run to the right side. And they've got some running room and close to, and they've got a first down.
Around the right end. Campbell.
Antoine Campbell getting the call, the handoff, and able to scoot around the right side. So they'll move the chains and a positive start for St. Francis. They'll have the ball now at their own 31-yard line. St. Francis huddling up. Colin Harriff in wide to the right side. Two protectors in for Hunsucker. Waiting for the snap out of the gun. Looks to hand it off again. Keeps it himself. Bootlegs right side. He's got running room. Brings it out to the 40-yard line and up to the 44-yard line. So Hunsucker not afraid to call his own numbers. He really effectively the same play as before with Campbell, just right around that right side, and very effective and quickly very improving field position for St. Francis, up short of their own 5. Now they've got Noel in wide to the left side. Hunsucker again out of the gun with two protectors in. Inside of 46 seconds, time remaining in here in the third quarter. Hunsucker with this time wants to throw. Throws the ball near side. Knowles got it and gives some ground, fighing for the first down. Pushed back by about 1.5 yards. Let's see who wins the spot. One official's got it up around the 46, but they're going to mark the ball up around the 47. So short of the first down by about 1 yard, so that picks up 1 yard. Second down and 1 with just 18 seconds remaining in the quarter. Hurry up offense again. They'll run the ball, and not much there. Harris is not going to get it. Brought down right at the line of scrimmage, and that is the way the quarter will end. So the teams will come to the fourth quarter in a 39-26 ball game. We are going to take a 60-second timeout, and we will be back with our fourth quarter. 39-26 is our score, and we'll reestablish contact also with Football and Redeemer Radio, WRDF 106.3 FM.
All right, I'll call you back, Joe.
Okay, buddy.
Welcome to the Happy Car Store.
Okay.
New 2014.
All right. Tell you what, do you want to save another look maybe for the end of the game?
New 2014 Sonata SE from just $119 a month.
Because that's a lot of time for me to fill.
Okay, I'll take the Elantra. 99. But I need Bluetooth and satellite radio.
You got it. And all new Hyundais come with
you take any 30s
10 years
you want. There's nothing wrong with it. I'll just run some of them like that.
Sounds good. I appreciate it.
200,000 miles.
Yep.
So we all set here, honey? Sure are. Brand new Hyundai's $5,000 off.
The Happy Car Store.
Glenbrook Hyundai, Coldwater Road, next to Red Lobster.
At happycarstore.com or call 1-800-HYUNDAI. That's 1-800-HYUNDAI.
Don't worry, drive happy.
Make the by buyer.
Well, we're interested to see the third quarter stats, and some numbers are just going to be staggering. Meanwhile, the Cougars need a yard. St. Francis, they've got that yard as they plunge it inside the 45 to the 44-yard line. Remember, these two teams piled up 895 yards of total offense in 4 quarters last year. St. Francis won that game 45-20. Here tonight, after 45 minutes, 3 quarters, they've combined for 882 yards. So now the final 15 minutes, St. Francis with 443, SXU 439. They'll run the ball, and a gaping hole in the middle, spinning. That's Harris, finally brought down, but he'll pick up another 8 and 9 yards as he comes down to about the 36-yard line. But you can only take care of what you can take care of. And right now, St. Francis finding a little bit of hope and a little bit of positive gains running the football. And down 10, if they can cut it down to, or down 13 points, I should say, trying to get at least half that lead down. Here's an off-tackle run, spinning is Campbell. Brought it inside the 35 to the 34. Needed about 2. Let's see if I think he's got enough for the first down, and they do. So they'll move the down markers. And USF picking away at it, as they'll spot it 1st and 10 at the 34-yard line. Noel brings the play in, and checking out is Cam Smith. St. Francis with a tight end. That's Zach Gegner. He's in there now, tight to the right. They'll bring in Jarzab in that Delta formation once again. Normally that's a running formation. It's a play-action fake, though. Jarzab looking, being pursued, and scampers to his left, turns it up and tackled from behind. He did get positive yardage, maybe a couple of yards close to about the 33.
Short gain on the play.
Let's see where boy, that's a bad spot because he fell forward with the ball. Inside, they mark it back around the 34 for no gain.
No gain.
So second down and 10. Just over 13 minutes time remaining. 39-26. Advantage SXU by 13. And now they look to throw. Pump fake. The rush is coming, and Hunsucker, they've got him wrapped up, and did he lose the ball? No, he's going to be sacked way back around the 45.
Hayward on the sack for St. Xavier.
And again, they've got him for a loss. Back outside the 40 to the 42-yard line. They just can't hold him out, and West doesn't have the time to go to a number 3, number 4 check down receiver possibility. Now he'll roll to the right side, taking a look, loads up, throws near side, and that's wide, and let's see if they rule it a catch. Incomplete.
Intended for Smith.
So it'll bring up fourth down, fourth and 18 with 12:29 remaining. And down 13 after a drive that started so promising with the 9 gains on the ground. And let's see, it'll be Spitnail dropping back to his own 44-yard line to punt the ball away. Benedetti has been doing most of the kick returning here tonight. Punt is high into the night sky. Fair catch is called, and it is made right about the 5-yard line. So St. Xavier gets the ball back. Let's take a quick look at some of the other numbers. Campbell so far rushing through 3 quarters. It does not include what we saw in this most recent series, but 12 carries for 63 net yards. Hunsucker 9 for 22. Jarzab 4 for 20. As far as St. Xavier, Randy Wells 1 for 33. Joshua Hunter 7 for 28 net yards. Steve Sims with 4 for 22. Rhodey tonight through 3 quarters, 15 of 29 through the air, 313 passing yards, no touchdowns. Hunsucker 26 of 40 for 317 and 2 touchdowns. Rhodey looking, misdirection, hands it off again. Pinching in, the defensive right side stops that for little gain.
Iblow on the carry, short gain.
Iblow is credited for the carry, and on the tackle was Spencer Coward. Came up.
Second down 9.
From the secondary, made that stop. Couple of yards gained, second down and 8. Rhodey again out of the shotgun, little motion. And he looks to Steven Sims. And here's the reverse coming up on the pitch. And looking, that's Cowherd. Can't make the play, though. Yeah, but the Cougars string it out down the left sideline. They missed tackles again. Corey Stamps came up and had push him out of bounds, but let's see where he did run out of bounds on the near sideline.
Third down.
It'll be third down and short. Third down at about 2. And St. Francis, that's been a problem at times, the ability to wrap and finish tackles. Rhodey needing a couple. Looks again, a little flinch at the line of scrimmage. Now they back away, but they had just started the play clock, so they've still got over 20 seconds. Rhodey now again whispering to his lineman, backs up out of the gun. Has the snap, wants to throw, sets up, being pressured, and throws, has got a catch, and stepping out of a tackle again, blockers in front, and a near side run by Ryan Carroll. So Carroll on the crossing pattern, and nobody near him. Easy run, they'll move the chains with 11:08 remaining, and SXU hurries up to the football, ready to run another play. St. Francis trying to make a personnel change. Kyle Mathewson in at linebacker spot, middle linebacker. Rhodey looks right, screens the ball, and that time well defended. St. Francis got out to it.
On the completion,
Joel Green came over to assist on the tackle.
For St. Francis.
Not much there this time. With 10:44, that'll keep the clock moving. Maybe a yard. Let's call it a pickup of yard. 2nd down and 9. Carroll's been effective tonight. He comes part of a Twins package to the near side. Deshaun Lewis backing up. Tabler over there as well. And let's see what they come up with now. Protectors in either side of John Rohde. Rohde high snap, wants to hand it off, but he wants to throw, and he's got a wide open catch and an easy, again, a big breakdown, as it will be a touchdown. I believe that's DeBenedetti. DeBenedetti for 65 yards and a touchdown. Just a complete breakdown. They ignored him, the St. Francis defense. So at the 10-10 mark, big touchdown on big play here in the 4th quarter, and that'll make it 45-26.
Bill Money for the point after.
Monty trying to make it 46-26, a lead of 20. Right-footed kick, and this one end over end and on the way and good. So 10-10 remaining in St. Francis. Not the best defensive effort that series. As they fall behind by 20, we'll step out for a 30-second timeout. Be back in Chicago with more. This is Cougar Football on Redeemer Radio, WRDF 106.3 FM.
Hi, sports fan. Sean McBride here, inviting you to try the Barbershop experience. St. Joe Center Barbershop, located at the corner of St. Joe Center and Maple Crest, prides itself on professionalism, cleanliness, and a friendly atmosphere. In their 3rd generation of family ownership, they have a combined experience of over 125 years. Give them a call at 485-6981. It's my barbershop of choice. That's St. Joe Center Barbershop at 485-6981.
St. X has scored the game's last 19 points in a row now, and from a 27-26 lead, they now lead at 46-26.
Bill Money to kick off.
So St. Francis.
Zeller and Harris deep for St. Francis.
Well, the good news, this is not a league game, but it also gives you, if it goes this way for another 10 minutes, your 4th loss on the year. And that means you've got to win the Mid-East League to have a chance to go get the automatic bid to go to the playoffs, and a lot of trouble ahead. Here's a angler kick coming near side. Stay away from Appenzeller. Aaron Harris crossing to the 15. Works out and upended at the 20-yard line.
Harris on the return by Lombardo. Flags on the play.
See if we there is a penalty flag thrown.
After the play, we have a personal foul, dead ball, on the kicking team, number 21, be 15 yards from the end of the run, first down.
That one goes against St. Xavier, personal foul after the play was over.
Spotted on the St. Francis.
It'll go against Ruggles.
36-yard line.
Ruggles whistled for the personal, so that improves the field position. St. Francis now at their own 36-yard line. Here's the snap now, and Hunsucker setting and running out of time. Throws over the middle. That's a tip ball, incomplete. Intended for Akeem Kelsaw down the middle. Pretty well defended, pretty well bracketed that time. They had a defender in front and behind. Stops the clock with 9:57 remaining. St. Francis looking for a charge, positive impact somewhere, anywhere. Cam Smith in wide to the near side. Kelsaw stays in there. And two either side. Hunsucker again looking, throws to the left. That one, little comeback pattern. Let's see if it's really the catch. No good. So now it's 3rd down and 10.
Matt Johnson on the stop for St. Xavier. 3rd down.
St. Francis trying to desperately stay away from 3 and out. They would have to get the ball to their own 46-yard line on this snap. Hunsucker again, same set with 2 wide either side of the field out of the shotgun formation. Zone blitz coming defensive right side. Now they change it, and penalty flags thrown.
False start on the offense. Number 73, 5-yard penalty, remains third down.
Looks like Robert Morris has added a third field goal. They lead now in the second half 9-0 over USF Illinois. Zach Menardo I check it was Gus Hancock who moved at the line of scrimmage, so cost St. Francis 5, and 3rd and 10 becomes 3rd down and 15. 3 wide to the right. Still trying to get up to their own 46. Hunsucker giving ground. Blitz is coming. Steps up, and they've got him wrapped up again. Tackled back inside the 25-yard line at the 23.
Lost on the play.
And it's been a long second half for Wes. Had all kinds of success, but St. Xavier has adjusted with their defensive disguise coverages, and they have just played havoc with the ability for Wes Hunter to get passes off, especially the long and developing passes. Spitnell back at the 10. Rush is coming, got it away. And Benedetti calls fair catch, and he'll have it put away at the 34-yard line. Just over 9 minutes remaining. 6 on the clock. St. Xavier, let's see if they stay with John Rohde. Their lead is 20 here at home. Trying to keep perfect at home. They came in at 1-0 at home. And kind of in the same boat as St. Francis, because both teams entered league play losses last week. St. Xavier lost at Grandview, also in the Midwest League, and of course St. Francis was snake bit by Siena Heights at Darby Stadium last Saturday night.
John Rohde at quarterback.
But pretty much the second half has been owned by St. Xavier in this ball game. Their lead is 20. 9:06 remaining. Blitz coming defensive right side for USF direction, and here's a run up the middle, and a gain up close to Ivlo with the carry to the 40-yard line.
Gain of 6 on the play to the 40-yard line. 2nd down 4.
Right now, St. Francis is just trying to get out of here, regroup, and get ready for USF Joliet next Saturday. Clock moving, and it'll approach inside of 8.5 minutes before this play is over. Rohde now again adjusting the play call. Sets up again. I believe that's Joshua Hunter. The flank to his right has got a little motion by Sims. Counter run is coming up, and a run, and the ball did not pop free. The gain was only to the 40, maybe the 41.
Thompson on the stop for St. Francis.
Kyle Mathewson in on the stops.
3 on the play.
So that'll bring up 2nd down.
3rd down.
They'll check it, 3rd down. And they need about 3. And moving at the line of scrimmage might be a free play. As the throw right side, they've got a man down there again. The catch is made, and they're going to take the play.
Flag on the play.
Over the shoulder catch by Randall Wells. And Kevin Donnelly's got to be just tearing out his gray hair, because time and again his safeties and his corners just getting beaten deep. And Wells had about 3-4 steps.
In the 3rd quarter, Robert Morris leads St. Francis of Illinois 9-0.
So here comes SXU trying to add to their 46-26 lead with just over 7.5 minutes remaining. And they screen the ball right side, looking for running room. St. Francis closes on it. It'll be a gain of about 4, maybe 5 yards. Sean Lewis getting up off the bottom of the pile for St. Francis.
Gain of 4 on the play. 2nd down 6.
Stayed inbounds. The clock runs with now 7:19 to play. Now this is a spread high-power offense for St. Francis. They scored 65 points in their first ball game of the year, and came up short last week, 41-37 on the road at Grandview. But they have owned the second half here tonight at home. High snap, but they'll run the ball again. St. Francis trying to
and off to Ferguson on the run.
Wrap that up around the 14-yard line. Ferguson on the carry.
On the stop for St. Francis.
And it'll bring up a third down call coming up for SXU. Let's see where they got it. At the 14, apparently. And St. Xavier now content trying to run the clock. Still 17 on the play clock. Neither team is really moving at this point, so finally St. Xavier waves in the play they want to run. And Rhodey will back up again out of the shotgun formation. Looking to hand it off, and let's see if he keeps it himself. Off tackle, run, slides down inside the 5. Rhodey did not want to take the hit, slid down at the 3. Might have had a chance to score.
Tabler on the tackle for St. Francis.
Cale Tabler come up and made the touchdown-saving tackle, or just to finalize it. Now it'll be first down and goal.
First down, Cougars.
With a slide, it's where you begin that slide. It looks like it's back around the 5-yard line. Yeah, maybe at the 4. Really, really difficult to see here. Rhodey again out of the gun. Running back flank to his right. Looking option run to the right side. Try to reverse and inside is stopped from scoring. Got to the 2 when the whistles blew. Maybe get him another half yard. Play designed on a quarterback option run to the right. He reversed back to the left side. Using Ryan Carroll that time as kind of a lead blocker. He's going to check out of the ball game. So that'll bring up second down and goal from just outside the 1. Ferguson is in there as the running back on a handoff. Here's a sweep to the left side and getting to the pylon, and it's going to be ruled a touchdown. So officially a touchdown run of 1 at the 4-4. So from 19 points now, it's been a run of 25 straight by St. Xavier. Well, they just keep coming at you, and those play-action fakes and the pump and goes, and they've been able to have their way with St. Francis defensively here in this, especially the fourth quarter, second half. Extra point is on the way and is good. So 52-26. Lead balloons out now for SXU. Still 4:49 remaining. And more after this 30-second break. This is Cougar football on Redeemer Radio, WRDF 106.3 FM.
Xavier Staffing, locally owned by the Pentenberg family, excels in finding the best candidates for industrial, clerical, customer service, clinical healthcare, IT, and professional direct hire placements. Xavier clients are accustomed to getting the right employees at the right time, every time. Xavier Staffing supports the proud excellence of the Dwenger Saints and the Luers Knights, both on the field and in the classroom. Whether you're seeking your next career...
Aaron had a couple of kickoff returns and a long of 33. Big ball game, as we mentioned. St. X and St. Francis, longtime rivals. St. Francis, the Cougars, have won the last 2 against SXU. Getting ready. Now it's SXU to kick it away left to right. And here we go. It's a left-footed kick high, end over end. Harris will give way to Appenzeller at the 5. Works right side to the 10, 15. Looking for a block, stumbles. Now trying to reverse back to the left side. Gang tackled. And short of the 20-yard line is where St. Francis will go to work first and 10 in the early moments of this ball game. St. Francis coming in at 2-3 as we mentioned. SXU at both teams 0-1 in the respective league races. So it'll be first down and 10 for St. Francis at their own 20-yard line. Offensive line averaging 274 a man, tackle to tackle. Brian Gegner starts again tonight, replacing Zach Minardo. Still a little bit banged up. He is dressed. Saw him working out, but will not start here tonight. Hunsucker getting the start at quarterback. Wants the screen of ball left side. Kelso, quick move, breaks a couple of tackles and brings it up over the 30-yard line to about the 31. So that'll be a first down and an encouraging positive for USF, moving it from right to left on that first quick hitting play. Little screen into the flats near side, and Kelso, that's his 17th catch of the year, comes in with 172 yards. Had 2 catches for 33 yards a week ago against Siena Heights. Cam Smith obviously will be a mark man tonight. He's in wide to the right side. 1st and 10, now at the 31-yard line. Hunsucker looking to Campbell. It's a keeper play by Hunsucker. Nice read on the read option. Fake the handoff on the counter run to Antoine Campbell. Boots it around the left side and brings it across the 35 to about the 39-yard line.
8 on the play.
So nose of the football just inside the 39 of St. Francis. So 2 good plays to start. One a pass, and then the last one on a quarterback keeper play. Screen coming up. Appenzeller turns the corner. 45-50, 45-40, and trying to come back along the boundary to the inside, but stays in bounds inside the 30-yard line. He coughed it up, and I believe SXU's got the ball. Let's wait and see. They do give it back to St. Xavier. Appenzeller was triple teamed, and in the scrum they were able to dig the ball out. So the first turnover of the night, and it'll be St. Xavier taking over the football after St. Francis was moving the football very, very well, and a good run after the catch by Cody Appenzeller, but then he fumbles it away. So at 13:49, it'll be St. Xavier getting the ball inside their 30 at the 28-yard line. And we'll take a look at their offense coming out now. Expecting to see John Rohde, the 6-foot sophomore quarterback, in there. And let's see if it's going to be, he'll set up out of the shotgun formation, 2 wide to the left, a little motion out of it. Nick DeBenedetti. They'll throw the home run ball. They've got a man down deep and a catch. Nashawn Lewis trying to catch up inside the 20, and he's got him out of bounds right around the 18-yard line. But DeBenedetti, you've got to be aware of him from start to finish. Had 8 catches for 120 yards at Grandview last week, good for 1 touchdown, and comes in leading him with 38 catches on the year.
The ball will be spotted on the St. Francis 20-yard line.
So a big hitting play now for SXU. Both teams showing a lot of offense in the early going. Shotgun formation again. Rohde's got motion out of it from right to left. They'll look now. They'll screen the ball near side. Here's Joshua Hunter looking for a block. Angles to the right side. Got down to the 10. Carried tacklers down inside the 9 and to the 8-yard line.
On the stop for St. Francis is Thompson.
St. Xavier with the first scoring opportunity, realistic opportunity of the ball game, as they've got it 1st and goal from the 8-yard line now. Team that comes in and averaging, as we mentioned, right around 34.5 points the ball game. They'll work from the right side hash mark. Rohde out of the gun again, looking to hand the ball off. No, it's a play action fake. They throw the ball, tipped in the air, incomplete. Corey Stamps had the coverage that time on a throw to the right side. Ball popped in the free. Hung there tantalizingly, but Stamps dove for it but could not find the handle. Incompletion brings up 2nd down and goal from the 8-yard line. Backing up to the gun again is Rohde. Had something to say to center Sean Jones. And here's the quick drop, and here is Rohde looking, throws over the middle. He's got a catch, and it'll be a touchdown. They rule it. They're going to roll it incomplete. Did not hold on. It was Randall Wells along the back end line, but did not control it to the ground. It's rolled incomplete and brings up 3rd down and goal at the 8. Already up to the line of scrimmage, the SXU Cougars. Rohde with a protector to his left out of the shotgun formation. Looking again. Wade takes the snap, drops the throw, looks to his left, throws to the corner, and this time nobody's there. Well, they've got a catch, but it's out of bounds, and he didn't hold on anyway.